Hello, y'all. My name is Abe Sampson. I am traveling from Lancaster to Detroit to find who has killed my mother and burnt down my family's farm. I will do whatever is necessary to achieve that goal.
The name's Antonio Francello, but you may know me as one of the Gambino family's most respected caporogimes, or ex-caporogimes, since after the new Don Leo caught wind that I swing both ways, he decided to give me the boot and exile me from the family. But luckily, I happened to find a ragtag group of kids who wanted to stick it to the man, so naturally, I took them under my wing. They helped me get enough power as their Don to overthrow that backstabbing son of a bitch Leo, and in exchange, I guide and help them uproot those big wig corporations that fired the poor bastards.
How's it going? My name is Darius Valentin. I already know what they're thinking. The hell is a Romanian doing in the middle of Detroit? Well, I won't sugarcoat for you. Job opportunities were low, and I might have had a few loose ends. Let's end with that. How did I actually get here? If I were to tell you, I'll have to kill you.
The name's Trent Hughes. I was a security guard by trade until the megacorps had some mass layoffs to save money. I was out of a job, so I decided to get a new one.
And me, I'm the Valley Rat. I run the show around these parts. Whether it's building dynasties that rule long into the Roman Empire, or playing the street riffraff that goes by day to day, I'm your guy. So sit, take a load off, and do me the honor of weaving a tale involving mob bosses, tributes gone wrong, and all the business involved with the rising crime family. This is Treading Among Snakes. So last time, they got ready for the biggest of heists. Our characters went ahead and stole some equipment. They killed some folks. I don't know if that was last session or the one before that.
We did both last time.
Yeah, we did both last time.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. You committed murder last time.
Yep, definitely first-degree murder. It was premeditated, absolutely. So right now, we're getting ready to go on the heist of the Soviet ship. Or I shouldn't say ship, I should say submarine. The characters have gotten together. They've gotten their crew, their A-team, if you will. They're ready to go. The heist is tomorrow. So let's kick it off with this. You guys are currently in Antonio's apartment right now. The sun's beginning to set. Early tomorrow morning, you plan on going, I assume, or at some point tomorrow.
Yep.
You can see that the sun is getting low in the sky. Everybody's kind of like, the nerves are kind of coming at this point. If you do get nervous, some of you might not because you've done.
I just dumb it down with alcohol.
Yeah, exactly.
Antonio's done these kinds of jobs before.
Yeah.
I'm pretty nervous. I'm
You're
just
a farm boy. That sort of makes sense for you.
Yeah, like this is really out of my comfort zone here.
Just like coming in from the fucking countryside farm boy, coming into Detroit, joining a gang, getting involved in a bunch of shit, and then all of a sudden you're raiding a fucking nuclear submarine.
Yeah, you're literally a peasant going in.
You're literally a peasant, you plebeian shit!
And I just want to find out who killed my mother.
I love the idea of you guys like actually losing the fight, and then like the Soviets are asking you like, what were you guys doing? Why are you here? And then freaking Abe is like, I'm just looking for my mom.
I'm just looking for who killed my mom.
I want my mommy.
I'm here to practice. If anything, I'm excited to use my new grenade skills.
How do you plan on getting to the nuclear submarine? Like, what's your plan for infiltration?
It is a nuclear submarine.
Yes.
Well, obviously we're going to it.
We're going through the hatch, I guess.
We're gonna try our best to go through the hatch. Wait till it surfaces, because it will inevitably need to surface to gather supplies. And then that's when we sneak on. And then once we sneak on, and it's already under the water, we make some noise, and we just take it over.
We could sneak on as personnel.
We're Italian. They're Russian. It's not gonna work.
You're Italian.
I can go in though.
You guys are
Yes.
Americans. Excuse me.
We're all Americans.
We will
We're
not
all
tolerate
Americans
this. I'm
We
here.
have an
You are
Italian
American.
heritage.
Yeah. So basically you guys have information on from Stevie saying that they're planning on surfacing at a specific time tomorrow in order to
Recoup
fill up on the atmosphere and like air in order to, and also to vent the CO2. So who wants to tell me what time it's going to be tomorrow?
It is going to be at some point tomorrow.
I would like
I am
around
the
like
most helpful human being.
Yeah, that's very helpful.
I'd say
around, like,
because of our journey that we need to make, let's say about. How about let's say 3 o'clock?
3 p.m.
3 p.m.
All right, cool. So 3 p.m. it plans on venting the CO2 and reloading oxygen into its into the vessel. Right on the dot, because you know Soviets, they work on timetables that are very important.
Yes.
So Stevie also says that he has like a contact you can talk to tomorrow morning that can get you in the area, but after that you're kind of on your own.
Okay.
All right.
Alright.
So we got to figure out our own way into the actual sub.
Yeah, they can get you like to the location. It's a matter of after that you're on your own.
Okay.
Mayhaps we buy a blowtorch?
That might not be a bad idea.
Wouldn't be horrible.
We have money.
We have a lot of money. Probably. We could probably pick up a blowtorch from a hardware store on our drive there.
So basically, you guys go to sleep now. You have your idea like set up, and early in the morning, I'd say around like 5 or 6 o'clock, you have your crew show up and like ring the doorbell.
Okay.
Time to get to work.
All right, I open the door. Okay. I hope you all said. I'll be honest with you. I hope you all wrote your wills and said goodbye to your families, just in case. There's a good chance some of you won't make it out of this alive, but you'll be paid well, and you'll be officially made men after that.
Yeah.
So
I think Lenny like comes over and like clasps you on the shoulder, looks down for a moment, and then just walks away.
So, before we go, of course, one last meal, then we're on the road.
All right. What do you cook for them, Antonio?
This is going to be the biggest feast I've made for these guys yet.
Okay.
We're talking turkey. We're talking fucking ham.
Don't
we're
do
talking-
turkey. Turkey makes you fall the fuck asleep.
I was about to say, we're having turkey. We're gonna take a nap on the way there.
All right,
No,
fine. We're
gonna
talking.
be doing a lot of physical shit and build up on carbohydrates. We need to have pasta.
We need.
Lenny's is like, if you can't handle it, then you might as well not come.
But yeah, we'll have that. We'll have of course some pasta. I'm taking out the most expensive bottle of wine that I have for these guys, out of respect, and passing it around.
Yep. It's
I've
probably
got
vintage,
the
like,
best.
It's like a vintage 2019. Because everybody knows it's the best year in human history.
It was better than the following year.
I know. So yeah, you get like your vintage 2019, whatever it says on the front of it, and you pass it around. Everybody takes a little bit from it, not too much, because like there's a lot of guys here.
Yeah,
from your A team that you got together, there's about a little less than a dozen.
I'm like,
Now, what about
and,
my guard pals?
yeah, from your guys, we've got your guard pals that you got together, the 5 of them, right?
Yeah, there were 5 of them that I basically co-opted from the fucking lotto place.
Yeah. Then you got 12, or not 12, excuse me, less than a dozen. You got 10 guys that are with Antonio, and I think that's that's it. That's all you got
That's the
with you.
squad.
So you got 15 people here that are like ready to go. You don't know how high quality these 5 guys are, Trisky, but they're better than just dead weight.
Well, I knew they used to work in like actual security, so
They did, yeah. The point that I'm trying to make is that you don't have anybody like vouching for them,
yeah. Except for me.
except for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have 3 trucks for the 15 guys, and then you guys have your own vehicle. So just let me know what you guys want to do next, because we can definitely just get on our way, or if you have a little role playing you'd like to do, you can do that too.
of course, I've got to say a prayer before we head off.
All right, you do that quick. Yeah. You go
We don't
ahead
have
and
much time left at this point. I would assume we need to make sure we get there on time.
it's only like 7 o'clock at this point. Like by the time everybody's eaten and like
Yeah, but we have a
all that.
long drive to get the fuck over there.
Yeah, it's only like to get to the lake is like maybe 2 hours.
From Detroit?
Yeah, I mean like it's right along the lake.
Alright.
So I just kind of bow my head and just say, Lord, forgive us for our transgressions, and please help us in our upcoming fight. For we are not only fighting for ourselves, but we're fighting against these commies, and we know the only kind of good commie is a dead one.
Yeah.
Amen.
Awesome. I think they all say amen, and a few of them like spit because when you say commie.
We're still in America, boys. That's a check.
That's a check. Yeah.
Check. We are in America. Check.
Yep. So you had you eventually get into your vehicles. You go to like a hardware store. What would you like to buy from the hardware store?
Welding shit.
Okay.
Rip open
so-
metal.
I actually don't know how much a blowtorch is. How much is a blowtorch?
Amazon.com. How much is a blowtorch cost?
I think we have enough money.
Oh yeah, they're not very much. They're like I got one on here for like $20. I probably wouldn't get into a Soviet submarine, but it's a good indicator that they're not super expensive. So we'll probably say for all
We'll
the
get a high
equipment that
grade
you-
one.
Guys,
Yeah, if you want a high grade
the
one.
thermal drill. Go get it.
Fuck you.
So
I'll
you buy
I'll personally like flesh out like 200 for it, something like that.
so you only need like $500 to get like the like a welder's equipment.
All
in
right.
order to like pump
Mm.
through that stuff. So like 500 will do it.
All right.
How
I'll
much
pay
would it
for that.
cost to buy like a mechanic's toolbox?
Mechanics toolbox?
Yep.
I don't know, like $50.
Should we say 100?
I would.
Okay, it's $100.
Okay, it's $100. You pay more. Congratulations.
I'm gonna get crowbar.
You want to get a crowbar? Okay. Crowbar will be like I don't know,
Abe
like
Sampson will
$20.
secretly actually fucking Gordon Freeman.
I just kind of like shout back to my men. All right. Anything else you guys need before we head there? If not, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Nobody says anything right away. They're kind of just like you've got like 2 vehicles that are like loaded up with men. Like the 15 guys are like crammed into these 2 vehicles.
You said 3.
Three
Yeah.
guys in the pickup in the trunk of a car.
No. There's 2 vehicles, right, that have all the people in it, and the third vehicle has all their weapons.
Oh god.
Mm.
So yes,
Okay.
there is 3 vehicles, but like one of them is like loaded down with like equipment.
So 2 vehicles between 13 people, because I would assume a second person could sit in the front seat of the truck that's carrying the weapons.
Yeah. So you've got those 3 vehicles. And they kind of just say like, "We don't need anything." Lenny comes out and says, "We don't need anything, boss. We'll meet you there."
All right, let's get on the road, boys. If we don't need anything else,
Honk honk.
Okay.
all right, we head off.
Right, you drive down the road. There is some traffic right now. It is the beginning of a working day. Obviously, you guys don't have jobs, and neither do these other guys, so you don't need to worry about that too much. So you get stuck in traffic for a little ways. You at one point get worried that about a cop car that passes you guys, like highway patrol. But of course, they're more like not highway patrol. They're more of like a what's the word I'm looking for?
State
Mega
trooper.
Corps patrol. Yeah, exactly. State trooper.
Megacore State Trooper.
Mega Corps State trooper. Yep. So they like pass you guys. You kind of like hold your breath at first. They just drive by. So you guys eventually get to the coast, and you see that there is a you know what like a pontoon looks like.
Yeah.
Think of like a larger pontoon. You have like this large vehicle that's got like it probably can hold maybe like it could be described as a small yacht even, but it could probably hold maybe 40 people comfortably. Meaning that you wouldn't be in each other's faces, but like you wouldn't by any stretch of the imagination want to be like stuck with them all day on this, this yacht or punt. A captain comes forward and just this guy, he's probably like 40 years old, like early 40s. He's got his hair starting to gray a little bit, and he comes forward and he just kind of holds his hand out, not sure who to yet, but like the 4 of you, and just waits for somebody to grab his hand.
I go up and shake his hand.
All right. He says, "You guys are you're the group."
Yep, that's us. You'll be driving us up to you know what?
Yeah, we're going on Erie. So, yeah, this and I don't know what you want to call it. This vessel. He kind of says, it's not too far away. It's only like let me think, like 30 miles away.
All right.
It takes time to get out there, but we have some time to kill between now and then, a couple hours at least. We don't want to be there and just sit around and wait for them to rise, you know?
I get you.
Anything
right.
you guys need at the moment? Anything I can do for you? Make it comfortable? I mean, we got some drinks and food here if you got any of your men need it.
Anybody hungry?
Yeah, a couple guys are.
All right. Well, we'd much appreciate that. I'll be sure to pay you for it.
That's appreciated. And he kind of just says, "If you need anything, I'll be over with my men." And he walks over to the pontoon again and jumps on board. Now that you've actually gotten like a good look at it, like I said before, it can hold like maybe 40 people. It's got like a large, like it looks like a house in the middle of it, but like like a lake, a boathouse. You know what those things look like?
Yeah.
But it's much smaller than that. It looks kind of like a area just where the skipper can go and drive the boat, and can hold a few people on there as well. It's a private
Like a boat
room.
cabin.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So he goes in there and he hangs out with the 2 or 3 other guys he's got with him, and you guys have a couple hours to kill before the heist.
All right. Let's see if we can scout something out. See what we're working with. Yeah,
No, I
we're
mean,
going from the pontoon onto the boat, or the U-boat.
Onto the submarine.
Yeah, we're pirates here. We're just getting right from one boat to another.
Alright, not much else than for the scouting around that, since we can't see the fucking submarine yet.
Nah, you can't see it.
For
I
it is
suppose we
under
should
the
all
water.
just ready ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys spend a couple hours just killing time. Some of the guys are playing cards, like gambling a little bit. They're having fun. And let's do this. These guys they're sitting around a table. You have maybe about 4 hours before you have to head out. So these guys are sitting around the table, right? Trent's 5 guys and Antonio's 10. You see maybe about 8 in general of the mix are playing cards. And you see that with the story point that I'm going to use, one of Antonio's guys, not Antonio's, I'm sorry, one of Trent's guys stands up. He points his finger at one of Antonio's guys. He says something along the lines of, "You and your friends over there," and he points to some more of Antonio's guys, "cheated me. I want my money back."
All right. I
And-
kind of walk over. All right. What's going on here?
And you see that a couple of Antonio's guys have at this point, like, they've kind of backed into like around their man that is in trouble, and they're not like threatening anybody at this point, but they are kind of like, okay, I mean, settle down. A couple of them have their hands ready to like reach for their submachine guns and assault rifles and whatnot.
Trent is going to walk up to whoever is causing the scene and just like punch him in the shoulder. Just be like,
Okay.
cut it out, you shitlord.
Okay, you punch him. So roll me a. I'm trying to remember exactly what the skills are now.
Leadership, negotiation, charm are all the same.
Leadership, absolutely, leadership.
Oh, gee. That's not like that's my entire first stat.
Oh,
Whoa.
hold up.
But
You'll
he's
get to
my
roll
man.
two. You'll get to roll 2. Don't worry.
All right.
Let's see if it ever fucking rolls this. Yep, the API is fucking dying right now. 1 advantage, 1 failure.
Failure. Okay. So I think that like he calms down, but Antonio's guy is like, I didn't cheat nobody. This guy's insane. You need to take care of your men. And Antonio, you can make a roll.
I'm just kind of like, hey, listen, all right? Nobody's getting hurt here. Nobody's cheating nobody. Just please calm down. We aren't gonna fight our own men. All right. So leadership, you said?
Yeah, leadership this time.
3 difficulty, 2 difficulty.
Yeah, this will be 3 difficulty for you. Yeah.
Ah, crap. 2 successes, but 3 threat.
All right.
Oh boy.
So he this guy he was standing up at this point, but he puts his hands in the air really like ironically, and he's just like, all right, I'll calm down. But I'm not giving him his money back. I want it fair and square.
Trent just sort of looks at the two and says, why the fuck you gambling real money when we're about to make a real catch already?
So a couple of them just kind of like look at you, and they just stare for a moment.
And I kind of look at Trent and I go, I mean, gambling's kind of what people do for fun.
And so high and tie over it.
Well, yeah, it's still money.
Trent sort of just shrugs and says, focus on what's really at stake here. A few dollars from this, or a few million from that.
So you guys have successfully kind of corralled them to like settle down, but there are unforeseen consequences for your the way that you have corralled them.
Oh, great.
So you guys have waited long enough. You see that 3 o'clock is just about arrived, and the pontoon skipper comes over. He says, "All right, are your men ready?"
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay. He looks over at the rest of you guys, kind of like just waiting for a response.
Always ready.
Hey,
Yep.
Cool. So he walks back over, and he kind of he goes into the little cabin, and two of the guys come out, and they begin like tying off the moors. They begin like removing like the mooring rope, and
Okay.
your guys start loading up.
All right, in we go, boys.
I'm going to assume at this point I put on my riot gear and take out my riot shield.
Yeah.
I forgot you had that.
Yep.
He also has an AK.
I have an AK, I have a riot armor and a riot shield, which is like the riot shield is considered part of the riot armor.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys basically like you all get on the ship or on the little boat, the pontoon, and you begin sailing out to your the location. You wait for I don't know how long it takes to get 30 miles. I'd say about 40 minutes. And you eventually get to the point, and you got maybe about 10 minutes before 3 o'clock hits.
Okay.
I just tell my boys real quietly, stay down, stay quiet, don't be making any noise till I tell you to. Got it?
All right, they nod.
Trent turns to his guys and is just like, yeah, follow suit.
All right, they just nod back. So you wait for a couple minutes, which eventually turns to 5 minutes, and then 8, and you reach the 10-minute mark, and you kind of like all begin like looking at each other, like, okay, this is it, this is the time, and a couple of the guys began like gripping their weapon stocks a little bit tighter, and you can see like one guy has like white knuckles, holding on to his submachine gun.
I kind of give him a pat on the back. It's gonna be all right, kid. Just listen to instructions. You'll make it out okay.
Yeah, he kind of like he's not necessarily like he's not showing like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, but you can tell he's nervous.
Yeah, just wanted to help reassure him.
Yeah. So he's happy about that. So you guys wait a little bit longer, like another 5 minutes goes by, and still no submarine.
I
And-
kind of go to the captain. I'm like, this is the place, right?
And he looks over at you, and he like looks back at like the GPS he's got on the board. Like you go into like the cabin with them, and he says, "This is the place. This is where I was told to go. This is where Stevie said I was supposed to go. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do at this point."
Can I do a computer's check on the GPS?
Yeah. Go ahead, roll computers. Since it is not necessarily like it's one of those where it's like a really dumb GPS where basically you like are able to like, yeah, sure, it's like touchscreen whatever, but like you can't get into the guts of it without rolling like a difficult check. So I'm gonna call it 2 difficulty with 1 setback because of like it's not like an easy thing to get into.
So 1 black or...
Yeah, 1 black and 2 purple.
Oh my god, the successes. 1, 2, 3, 8 successes and 2 threats.
8 successes. Wait.
Yes, I'm sending you a fucking screenshot if you want.
Do it. I want to see the shit.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
too.
So with those successes, oh my god,
Oh
Plus
my
2 threats.
god.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So basically, what happens is like you get in there and you start like ripping apart stuff, and like you start like immediately like touching the wires together, and like there's like a little shock for a moment, and like you get it to like basically like a factory
Reset.
not factory reset, but more like a factory like controls, where you're able to see like behind the UI. So you're looking at it, and it appears as though nothing's been tampered with. It looks as though the location is correct.
It all
As
just showed up.
Yeah, as if you're able to see the previous locations that it has been at too, and it's been here. They've been here a couple times as well, like once or twice.
I just kind of look over to him. You've been here before?
Did Darius mention that?
Nope.
All right. Then I guess.
No problem. So yeah, he's kind of like watching you, and as you start like pulling wires apart, he's like, "Hey, you need to watch. Hey, that's business property."
I'll pay it for you if anything gets broken.
So he crosses his arms and is like uncomfortable with it, but he lets you, and you get the information that you currently got.
What do you see, Uzi?
They've been around here.
You've
Missed them
been-
a couple of times.
You've been here before? I thought we were the first
I'm
ones here.
trying to. Didn't you? I'm trying to say here that the submarine was detected a couple of times, so we are at the right location.
Alright.
So the skipper looks over at you, and he looks a little worried at this point because he's on a ship with like 15 or like nearly 20 armed men, and he's like, I mean, yeah, I've been here before. I needed to scout the location and make sure this is the right area. I need to make sure that, I was told to check it out, so I did.
Trent comes in around this point. What's going on here?
Nothing. We know we're in the right location, but they've been here before.
Been here before?
Been here before. Several times.
Twice. Once, maybe twice.
Yep. They've been
Trent
here
turns to
before
the
at
guy
least
and
twice.
says, do you know if you got spotted when you came here to check out earlier?
I mean, I don't know. And at this point, it's been like maybe 7 or 8 minutes past the time that they were supposed to surface.
Trent sort of just touches his forehead a little bit and says, so what the hell does that thing even track anyway?
What do you mean, what does it track? The GPS?
Yeah, what is the GPS tracking?
It's just, I don't know. I mean, I guess it logged where we've been, but the thing is that like I was told to come to this location 2 weeks ago in order to scout it out and see where everything was, right? So I came here 2 weeks ago, and Uzi, you know that's what the last reading was.
Yep.
For this location. He says I was told to come here 2 weeks ago. I came out here. I was here for 5 minutes. I went back. I want to see what could be seen. I want to see who would be able to see me. That sort of thing.
Alright, I trust you. But just be aware that if we don't get on this sub and we don't get this pay, there's gonna be 15 What?
At this point, like as you're like scolding him, the sub begins like rising out of the water next to you guys.
I started out with I trust you, but, and then all of a sudden it just kind of pops up.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I just kind of like pat him on the shoulder. Sorry for doubting you.
Okay, I think color begins like to come back to his face at this point.
And I'm just, all right.
Yeah?
You got any plan to get on, or is this where we leave?
You guys can open up the hatch and get going. I mean, I need to get the hell out of here.
Fair enough. We kind of
sub.
Yeah, so as you guys kind of like look out the window, you can see like this thing is like rising maybe like 5, maybe 10 feet out of the water. It's that big. It's maybe about like, I gotta think of how long this thing is. It's maybe like 150, maybe 200. No, it's maybe 200, maybe 250 feet long. Like it's gigantic. It looks like a frickin' like cylinder in the water. Like you know how like a cylinder has like blunt ends. It barely has like an area in the front of it that like treads through the water.
I just kind of go out and I say, all right, men, quietly, quickly, get in that hatch, all right?
Okay.
Let's go,
So,
boys.
You see that there is like like on submarines they have like in the center of it or like close to the center of it, they have like a section of it that kind of juts out of the water, out of the sub.
Yeah.
On that, there appears to be like what the Soviet equivalent of a 50 caliber machine gun attached to it, and there is like there's a ladder leading to the top.
And I just say to my men, don't get in that thing's sights.
So you guys all board the submarine?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to make a quick note before we go in and just say, from here on out, you listen to everyone here. And yeah, I sort of just turn to the guys that I hired and sort of turn to Antonio and say, listen to him.
Okay. Yeah, they nod, and these 5 guys kind of like huddle around Antonio, not like next to him, but like in the area.
Quick, quiet, in, kill people, out. I want this to be a quiet job until I say it's loud.
All right. So one of the guys, like a couple of the guys, like I'd say 2 of them come over. They grab like the welding equipment and they begin like they've gone over the plan. They know what their jobs are. You have a couple guys on like the tip, on each tip of the submarine, not too far out because they want to be able to make it back if it begins to submerge. But they're on like the ends. And you got like the majority of your 15 guys surrounding the top of the submarine, where it kind of like juts out of the water. And the 2 guys like begin climbing this ladder. One of them's holding like the propane or whatever they use for the welding, and the other guy's holding the rest of the equipment. And they climb to the top. What are you guys doing?
We're waiting for them to give some sort of silent signal that it's safe.
Okay. So one of them puts goggles on, and the other one like begins handing him the equipment and hands him an apron. The guy puts the apron on and begins like first he checks to make sure that the hatch is in fact locked. He doesn't pull on it hard or anything. He just very slowly begins like trying to turn the gauge, and it doesn't turn at all. So he goes gets the propane, the welding equipment, and he begins like torquing the valve inside of the hatch. And he's up there and he's going like really quickly. And I imagine like a couple of you guys, or like one of the guys down there next to you, like is like really closely watching his watch. Like every now and again, like every 5 seconds, like looks down at it, like come on, sort of thing. And let's do this. You guys are watching as you can see like the sparks kind of flying down around you as you're like underneath this guy that's doing the torching work.
Mhm.
And a GM point is going to be used.
Crap.
If it'll just roll.
We're up to 5 for players, 1 for GM.
Yeah, I'll just change it manually. So basically what happens is these guys are like torching away at it, and one of the guys that's down with you guys kind of like, do you hear that?
Like,
and kind of like looks over at you guys and he's like, do you hear that?
I'm like, guys, on alert.
Okay. So a couple of the guys are like looking around, like, okay, shit, let's do this. It's go time. And the 2 guys that are welding up top are still going at it.
Y'all want to run maybe a perception thing because mine is garbage? See if you guys can hear what he's hearing.
Yeah, I'll roll.
Okay. Yeah, just roll me
Everyone
perception.
goes.
It's gonna be 2 difficulty with a black die because coming within the inside the metal, it's kind of
Yeah, it's not really vision, it's
Alright.
more
2
sound.
advantages, 1 triumph, 3 failures.
1 triumph. Awesome. So you hear like
1 success.
you hear like mechanisms inside of the submarine beginning to like whir on, like they were off before, but like they're kind of going on, and you
Raw
look
1
off,
failure.
yeah, you look off to like the front of the submarine. I don't know what that's called. Look at the front of the submarine. The bow, yeah. You look across the bow of it, and you see like this hatch, like that was like attached to the submarine. You know, like kind of like implanted into it, so you couldn't see it before. Begins opening up, and you hear like this whirring sound coming from it, like this or whooshing sound coming from it. Somebody that's like venting out of it.
And I just tell my guys, all right, that should just be the CO2 vent. We just need to make sure that these guys are working fast. I'm gonna kind of climb up the ladder, and I'm gonna be like, all right, what's the hold up?
Okay. We get to the story point that was used now. So one of the guys looks over at you. The guy that isn't welding currently,
Mhm.
kind of like shields his eyes and like kind of like huddles up next to you so you don't damage your eyes. And he says, "This is some strong shit, man. I mean, like I don't know what they use for this thing, but we're not able to get through it at the moment. We need some more time."
Time. They're already venting the CO2. If we don't hurry, we're all gonna be fish food.
Trent is
I
going
mean,
to climb up the ladder and slowly start working over towards where the CO2 is being vented to see if it's large enough to have people
Yeah, that's
enter
what
it.
I was. I'm gonna come with
Um,
you because I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. So you go over to like the bow, and you don't have to climb a ladder or anything to get over to that. You see that there is, it is definitely large enough, but if you get close to it, you begin to get like a little dizzy.
Well, yeah, it's CO2.
So what's your plan?
So my plan is, fuck this shit. I don't give a crap about no goddamn CO2. I'm gonna fucking turn around, take a deep breath of actual oxygen, and just dunk myself in.
You gotta look into it.
No, I'm jumping in there.
You're jumping in.
Yeah.
All right. You jump in and like you get like knee deep into there and like grates kind of like stop you from getting any farther in. Like there's like a flooring to it that like
Yeah, it's a grated flooring, but it's probably
yeah, it's grated
because
flooring.
it's a grate, it's gonna be weaker than the other thing.
yeah.
We should get the welding done there. I'm gonna.
I just want to also mention that as you look down, like it looks like you're looking into like the bowels of like a cylinder of like a tank.
Okay.
So
CO2 is not flammable, though. I mean,
no, it's the opposite of flammable.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's retarded.
right. So at least we don't have to worry about that right there.
I just
The point that I'm trying to get across is that if you were to go in there, you would be inside like a CO2 tank.
Ah.
Yeah. So Trent is just gonna be like, they can't vent the CO2 fast enough, then we get our extra time. And with that, I'm gonna get above the hatch and using my riot shield, I'm gonna block off the venting CO2, like cover the hatch.
Yeah. So like if you would like, you can.
wouldn't
use a
that
story-
also knock you out?
That's what the story point's for.
Yeah, I'm gonna use one of our story points with permission to prevent them
Yeah,
from
do it.
venting the CO2 as fast with my fucking
Sure.
riot
Yeah, do it.
shield and
That's
not pass
fine.
out.
Go
Yep,
for
so
it.
4
Everybody cool with
players,
that?
2 GM. I'm blocking out the CO2.
All right. Now you would begin blocking the CO2 from like getting so easily out. Then what we'll do is we'll kind of like flash from you doing that. You kind of like look over at the guys that are welding up top. See Antonio that's like looking down at you, still talking to one of the guys. And I imagine that
Salute.
I imagine you give him like a salute or a thumbs up or something. Antonio, how do you respond?
I just kind of give him a thumbs up back, and I'm just like, all right, we've got a little extra time, but you guys need to hurry.
Okay. So as you're doing, oh shit! I just closed this. I closed something I wasn't supposed to.
Oh.
My bad.
Hey,
Am
look,
I still
there
roll-
are rolls.
Can I roll twice still? I'm in now. So you what we'll do now is you can kind of like
There,
see
now we're
this will be like an out of character experience gonna happen right now. We'll go to you guys kind of like give them a thumbs up. Like we go straight from Trent, who gives like a salute, and we kind of like have camera pan over to Antonio, who responds back. And then the camera looks down at the welding that's going on, and then it kind of like goes through the grate or through the hatch, down like the ladder, and you go like down like a couple of like you know how like the inside of submarines have really tight quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we kind of go like through one quarter that is like we're going basically like through like the walls. It's like a bunch of wiring and like valves and stuff. And we follow like a valve going through like one room to the next room, and then eventually you can see like in the middle of this there is this room that you can see the captain sitting at. He's your typical Russian bad guy, where like he's absolutely like Sean Connery and Hunt for Red October. He looks exactly like him. He's a grizzled old submarine captain that is looking around, and you can see that there is like a guy at a computer that looks over at him, and he says in Russian, he says, "Sir, you might want to look at this." And the captain kind of comes over and just says, "Yes, what is it?" And he says, we're venting the CO2 right now, but something's wrong with it. I mean, like we're gonna be behind schedule, is what I'm trying to say. And the captain just says, that is not acceptable. We need to get a crew up there to take a look. Send Squad C, and we'll have them head up there. And then we go back to the top where you guys are, having no idea what just happened down there below. So these guys are still welding away at the top of the submarine. And
I'm assuming, like, by default, people have their guns trained in various directions.
Yeah, they're ready. Yes, they have like they're basically like all ready to go right now. If somebody were to come up that ladder, they're ready to blow them away. But you see, as you are kind of like sitting there waiting for something to happen, like you're waiting for the hatch to kind of open up. Trent, you see that the valve kind of like shuts off for a second, and the CO2 just stops coming up.
I hold position, but I sort of like squint my eyes and pull out my AK as I'm sitting on my riot shield at this point, and have it trained on the nearest hatch.
Okay. Yep. That the only way into the submarine is on top of the ladder that we talked about before.
Being welded right now, yeah.
Yeah. And also the only other way out, I guess, that you know of would be the one that you are currently trying to prevent from opening.
So, Trent, do you say anything or kind of signal anything to Antonio?
So just so you guys know, everybody can kind of hear like the valve shut off, but you don't necessarily know what that is, Antonio.
I mean, you see Trent like look down for a moment, just sort of like squint his eyes, and then now instead of just like holding it in place, he's sitting on the riot shield, and he has the assault rifle like trained towards the hatch that you're nearby, so you probably can pick up that something's wrong.
Yeah, so Antonio, you look over at Trent, who was maybe like 100 feet away, like pointing his rifle in your direction.
I'm just like, boys, step down for a minute, and I just kind of aim my shotgun at the hatch.
Okay, so you see that the one guy is just like, we're almost through, sir.
All right, we'll keep going, but pick it up. There's something fishy going on here.
All right. This isn't safe, and then the one guy like goes over to like the propane.
And I'm going to use a story point to make it work very well.
Everybody cool with that?
Yeah, everybody's cool with that.
Sure.
Right. So the propane does not explode. He goes and like turns up like the intensity so that like even the guy that's holding it, I mean not just the guy that's holding it, everybody on top of the hatch is like shying away from the
light.
From the light. Like it's really, really intense. And this guy like really he gets down and he's got like his hood over his eyes. But we kind of like pan away from him real quick, and we like look at him, and he's got even like he puts his other hand up, like to shield his eyes even more. And you hear all of a sudden like something fall on the inside, and the torch kind of stops, and he looks back, and with his hood still up or still down, he kind of gives a thumbs up.
And it's like, all right, let's open her up. And I kind of keep my shotgun trained on the entrance of the hatch.
Okay.
Trent slings his assault rifle back over his back, picks up his shield, and pulls out his pistol, and gets on his way over.
Okay. and guys begin going up the ladder at this point. So you open up the hatch and you see like a couple feet from where you were at, like a guy, like a young Russian man. He's probably like 19 or 20, who appears to be like holding his head, which is bleeding at this point. He's looking down, and you see at the bottom of it appears to be like this bar of like metal that the guy had just basically torched his way through. And this guy is holding his head at the moment. What do you want to do?
Basically, what I'm gonna do is kind of jump down the ladder and just immediately just use my weight to just Goomba stomp this man.
So you guys kind of like, let's just do this. Trent, you are not quite there yet.
All right.
You are climbing the ladder currently to get up to the top of the submarine. Antonio, you are at the top. You Goomba stomp this dude, who looks like a technician. And he falls down the ladder and hits his friend that's below him. Antonio, I need a agility check.
Coordination,
Agility?
probably.
Yeah, coordination. Let's do coordination. I like that.
Coordination or brawl, depending on
How many here?
It's 2 difficulty.
4 success, 2 threat.
So you like punt this guy down the ladder, and he like hits his friend, who both like fall down. The threat will be that you see what he begins like yelling in Russian. You don't understand what he's saying.
I just kick his head and just kind of put a finger to my lips.
All right, you like slide down the rest of the ladder and you kick him again. So Antonio, you kick this guy in, and he's still yelling in Russian. Like, you don't understand what he's saying. He's like, and also he's like 18, 19, maybe 20. He's young.
I kind of just take the butt of my gun and just smash it against his head in an attempt to knock him out.
Okay, roll an attack. That'll be 2 difficulty.
All right, what kind of
That'd
attack?
Be a brawl.
It'll be a
That
brawl.
would be a brawl.
Yep. So you hit him, and because he's just a technician, he's just like some guy. He's basically like a peasant citizen. You knock him out, and the other guy kind of like begins like crawling away slowly with his hands up, and gets to right about there.
I just kind of aim my gun, just say, and I kind of motion for him to come back towards me.
Okay, you got your gun pointed at him.
Yes.
Okay, he kind of like looks around himself for a moment. He kind of analyzes the situation that he's in, and then he begins going towards you again. What would you like him to do?
I'd like him to lay with his belly on the ground and have his face on the ground as well. Just face on the ground.
Face on the ground. Get on the ground. Get prone.
I kind of just motion for my gun for him to get down on his face.
As he is saying that, as you are doing this, he begins like saying like really quietly something, like you don't understand it at all.
And I just kind of put my finger to my lips.
Okay. He does for like a moment, and then he again like really quietly just says something.
I kind of threaten to hit him with the butt of my gun as well.
Right. He just stops talking.
And I motion for him to get his face on the ground.
So the next person that gets down is, I believe Trent said he was the next one. So Trent, you're down here too.
Abe
closer.
had mentioned that he was with me, so he'd be like right behind me at this point.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, actually, who would be closer?
Fuck it, we'll throw Uzi down here too.
Epic.
And I
Just
say,
fuck it.
what's this? And I just say to Uzi, you're my translator here.
Yep.
All right, if you want any information out of this guy, I think I've got him down. I just kind of whispered to Uzi, I need location of other troops, layout of this sub, whatever you can get.
Alright.
And be quiet about it. We
I'm
don't know
going-
how many are on here.
Start whispering to this guy. Alright, you better keep fucking quiet or I'm going to have you dead. How many men are in this place?
He kind of like looks over at you, and he's just like, he whispers back because he doesn't want anybody to hear besides you. He says, we're the skeleton crew right now. There's probably maybe like 50, maybe 75 of us right now.
What
We're
the
just
fuck?
we're just here to maintain at the moment. I mean, everybody else is not. They're gone right now.
Alright.
Where are they?
Okay, you translate that,
Alright.
Uzi?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Also automatically assume that every time he says something, I translate it back to you.
Okay. Sure. Unless you say differently. Okay. What'd you say there, Abe?
Where are they? Where's the regular crew?
So he responds back and says, they're and he kind of like looks for the word for a moment, and he can't quite determine how he wants to proceed. He says, bottom of lake.
It's like, alright, so they're expecting these guys, so we might have some more on our hands if we don't work quickly.
Or is he
Ask-
saying they're dead?
Ask him what his friend was screaming about a minute earlier.
Alright. So I ask him, the hell was your friend screaming about earlier? I didn't get to hear it.
He got that, and he points over to like the bar that's on the ground. He says, that thing hit him in the face, and you like look over at his face again. It's like bleeding profusely. And he says, we were on our way up. We heard something on the top, and it fell and hit him. And he looked down at me and just started saying, like, help me, I'm bleeding. And then he fell and just kept yelling, help me.
So much for honor, eh, boss?
And I say, shut up. And I just kind of, I begin to kind of stabilize this guy's wounds the best I just basically kind of put something like some sort of pressure on his face, and I'm like, this'll stop the bleeding, I think. Unless you want to handle that, Uzi.
I
Trent
go and
is-
do it myself.
Yeah, Uzi's better at medical, I think. Trent is going to make sure that he's basically... Like, my goal right now is to be occupying this hallway in such a way that I'm acting as cover for you guys with the shield and just keep watch.
I'm over here.
Yes.
Something like that. I'm keeping watch, but I'm not trying to be super conspicuous.
Yep.
How do I freaking do this without, like, to a great... Whatever.
Also,
And I'm kind of on the other way, making sure that nobody comes through.
Yeah.
While Darius both patches this guy up and gets any info we need.
yep.
Nabe's probably keeping
No.
watch on the other guy.
Yeah.
So as you guys are doing this, like some of the soldiers are heading down to join you guys in here.
Should I roll medicine?
You can, yes. It's gonna be 3 difficulty because this guy got hit pretty hard in the head.
And
Yeah,
also
we
he got
butted him
Goomba
in the
Stomp.
head with a fucking... Yeah. He got hit in the head with a metal bar, got Goomba Stomp, they got hit in the head again with the fucking butt of a shotgun, so...
Yeah, he's been hit in the head multiple times. He probably has some trauma.
He's gonna have a concussion at the very least.
Alright, so we're kind of... I'm gonna kind of move up and make space, and we're just gonna be like, don't attack these guys, we've got them under control. Just fall in formation between me and Trent. We gotta take this quiet, but if they're gonna come running at us, we're gonna make it loud.
I
Looks like
accidentally
it.
had one black, but I got 2 successes. So 2 successes and 1 advantage, unless you want me to reload.
Alright, if they're gonna stack up behind me like that, then I might as well go over here.
You can see easily down the corridor then, which is much larger than the one on the right.
Oh. Well, I got the same fucking result. What?
So, yeah, so I think he might be okay. At least stop the bleeding.
Oh, also, I forgot to mention this. Also, you can redact your your decision if you'd like. There's 2 soldiers standing at this doorway right here.
Alright, I just kind of like, can we at least have
Move
these guys back up? I'm going to ready my shotgun to shoot at anything that kind of comes up this way.
I'm going to take a peer around this corner here.
Okay. You see like a soldier that's beginning like slowly make his way over there.
All right, so this guy right here is moving.
Yeah, he's like slowly making his way towards you. He's like currently like looking at the doors right here and here.
All right, I am preparing I'm gonna be like hiding around the corner and like fucking Solid Snake style. Once he gets to like around here, I'm going to like I'm gonna be putting my shield down for a moment. I'm gonna attempt to grapple him and like subdue him.
Okay, we got some time before then, though.
Can I instead make my action to kind of signal for two of my men to kind of come up close, and that we're gonna like synchronize, try to take these guys out quietly?
Do you have a silenced weapon?
No, I mean in the same sort of way. I'm gonna knock one of them out with the butt of my gun, and then these two guys are gonna try to grapple the last one.
I have a silent sniper rifle.
And
God.
leave one of the guys to watch over this other dude, like one of the like the group members, and then we could get Abe over there with like an actual silenced weapon to take one of them out at least.
that's the third one. That's what the third one's job is. The third one nearest to the doorway.
So yeah, the third one and me are going to stay with these guys for now.
Yes,
These
you're
other
on
two are
him,
helping
he's
me
on
with
that.
the other three. The other two are helping me with this little synchronized takedown we're gonna do here.
Abe can come on over to the left if he wants.
Yeah, I'm gonna come over to the left and
Also,
I'm just
I'm
gonna
going to ask,
to take a shot.
hey, you still got any of that rope?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Clip art, dude.
Just to make sure that they don't escape, I'm going to like tie up their legs.
So, Trent, these are your tough guys that you got.
Yeah.
Two of them are down there with you right now. It's kind of crowded at the moment. Like these guys are like crowded in this area. Like it's full of people. Antonio, you see the guy on this guy right here? Sees the door to his right. He kind of like looks over at it, calls a guy over, and they're gonna breach in it. They're gonna breach it.
And I just say, if you're gonna do it quietly. And I still need one person over here for this takedown.
Yep. So they slowly entered the door, and they begin to start scanning the room. Let's go back to Trent. Trent, this guy is slowly making his way. He's probably right about there now.
Trent is going to like just very he's going to turn to our friend here, Uzi, and he's going to be like, hey, say something in Russian to call this guy over. He probably doesn't know everyone's voice.
I'm going to try to make a sound where it sounds like I stepped on my toe, and then I'm going to say, Asuka!
Kind of shit.
Yeah,
Trying to get his attention to make him come over more pressingly.
yeah.
So this guy, he kind of like stops, and he speaks out in Russian. And he says, "Sergey, are you okay?" And the guy that's on the ground that you were interrogating kind of like looks over at you, like, "Do I talk or do I not?" Or
I will just gesture him with my finger to stay shut. Do not talk.
okay, he doesn't talk. And the guy
I
just
will-
says again, like, "Sergey."
I'm going to say, some fucking metal rod fell on my fucking leg. Come here, I need some help.
All right. So you hear him say something like, he says, "Andre, we need to go down here. Come with me." And another guy comes around the corner, and they begin like walking over there.
All right, so Trent is really going to quickly turn to the guy next to him and says, I'm going to throw this first guy at you. Both of you subdue him. I'll get the second guy.
I also prepared to aim my gun just in case.
What do you want me to do?
I
was
need you over
assuming you would be
here.
over here, but you're not moving your fucking token.
Oops.
Yeah. Just in case they're a bit split up, so just in case we can't get to them in time, make sure they don't make any noise.
Can you not move your token?
There we go.
Not there, over here. Opposite
Oh, over
fucking
here.
side.
Sorry.
Wow. Somebody's not paying attention and browsing twitter.com with his 70 alternative accounts.
The rest of the squad gets down here, and they come over here. A couple of these guys.
I kind of gesture for my guys to go through the same doorway these guys went down.
Okay, they go through.
All
Trent, let's go ahead and do yours real quick. You're gonna grab the first guy, right?
Yeah, so the idea is that I'm going to like quickly just sort of like rest as they come by. They're together, so I'm going to get the first guy. I'm going to just like sort of try and wrestling move, like whip him into these two guys so that they can subdue him, and then I'm going to grapple the other guy myself.
Okay. So roll me a what would a grapple?
Brawl.
Yeah, I guess it would be. I was kind of thinking that too. I was like, there's got
That covers all of like the physical shit, and that's my specialty. So
Yeah, do brawl. It's gonna be only 2 difficulty because he's not expecting it.
2 successes, 3 advantage.
Ooh.
Okay, how do you want to spend your advantage?
Give me a blue die and grappling the other dude.
Okay, yeah. This next guy, because he's like he saw his buddy get pulled, is very quick though. So it'll be 3 difficulty, but you'll get a blue die.
All right.
I don't know. I would have taken what you got from the regular roll 20.
For this session, let's just roll with the website to make things
Yeah.
easier.
For this session, all right.
These other
I mean,
two
it would
are
be
here.
another brawl to subdue the second guy. That could be my role.
Just roll on the website.
2 successes, 1 advantage.
So you grab a hold of this guy. How would you like to spend your advantage?
Pinning him.
Okay. You pin him up against this wall over here, and you look back, and Uzi, you see these 2 guys that are holding on to the one guy that Trent threw over to him. One of them immediately pulls out like a cloth and throws it over the guy's mouth and nose, and the other guy's like holding his arms behind his back, and he's like kicking and like trying to scream, but he can't.
They're knocking him out. It's like chloroform, dude. That is security procedure. Not really, but it's security procedure in the fucking cyberpunk ghettos.
Yeah. So the guy like passes out, and then one of them like begins like grab his head as the other guy like hands him to him, and he's about to like wring his neck. They're prepping this guy for the coup de grace.
Actually, I'm just going to say, Trent, get your fucking man back in this.
Trent just sort of turns to them and says, "Non-lethal."
All right. One of the guy like he's about to like wring his neck, and he just like looks over at you, and he looks back down at the guy.
Don't want to
And
cause
they-
an international incident.
He just drops him, and he's
Tie
kind
him
of
up.
like he's like angry, and then the guy like thuds to the ground.
Hey, if we can avoid killing them, we try not to. If we get into a gunfight, you're free.
All right. Back
Keep
to
it
Antonio.
quiet.
Antonio and Abe, what are you doing?
Basically, I'm going to attempt to kind of just knock one of these guys out. The guy behind me is going to attempt to knock the other guy out. And Abe, if we fail and one of them tries to scream out, he uses his silenced rifle and just pops him in the head.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I was gonna do that anyway.
I was going to suggest that. I thought that was what we were doing.
And also, Trent, yeah, your other guys go into this other room and check it out.
Keep it quiet.
So back to Abe and Antonio. Go do what you're gonna do.
We're waiting until they get close enough that we can get them both.
They're guarding the door.
They're guarding the door.
They're not moving. They're not coming towards you. You have to go to them.
I just kind of like motion for them to come for this guy to come with me,
Mhm.
and I knock the first guy out.
Okay,
Attempt to knock the first guy out.
Go ahead and roll an attack. Go ahead and roll a.
It would be brawl again. Assuming
Yeah.
you're not using like a melee weapon or something.
It's 1 advantage.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, the advantage will be that his friend on the left like you swing and miss, and you just whiff it. The guy on the left hasn't even noticed yet.
I'm just kind of like motioning for the. I've already motioned this guy to come up, so he knows that his job is to come up and attempt to knock this guy out.
Yeah. So you said non-lethal for sure.
Non-lethal if possible. If not, if we can't handle that, then Abe pops him in the head before they can scream.
All right, this guy goes over here. He's gonna go ahead and what do I want him to do? This guy like looks over at the last second. The Russian looks over at the last second, and this guy pulls out like a long knife. He had other ways of doing this, but seeing as your guy isn't dead yet, he kind of figured like the jig's up, so he's gonna go ahead and just stab him. Hopefully, hoping he doesn't yell.
And then I guess at that point, Abe would have the authorization to shoot the guy that I just whiffed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just duck and let him take a shot.
All right.
So this guy, he just stabs him, and actually he rolled so well that he stabbed the guy. Like puts his hand up to like block the stab. He stabs through his hand and into his heart, and he just kind of like presses down on him. And he keeps pressing until the guy like eventually slumps to the ground. And as soon as he hits the ground, he kind of like pulls it out, and he begins immediately dragging him away.
He's just pulling a fucking solid snake for kind of shit.
Yeah.
But,
Like, stab through the heart, knock him dead, and then drag his corpse away.
what are you doing?
All right.
Hey,
I'm
take
gonna
a shot.
I'm gonna shoot the guy.
Okay, do you go here?
Nah, you could duck.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking actually. Duck.
Like peek around the corner, Antonio ducks, and he takes a shot.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna shoot. Let's see, range heavy. What's my difficulty?
Roll on the side
Your
again.
difficulty's gonna be 3 because it's a long range rifle.
2 success or 1 success, 2 threat.
So you hit him. The threat is gonna be something that your characters don't necessarily see, but inside of this, inside of a room, you see the captain again. He is like talking to some of his advisors, some of his lieutenants, and you hear like a pop, and he goes, "What was that?" And
Yeah, suppressors aren't exactly 100% silent, especially in an
Nope.
echoey submarine.
Yeah.
just so that's not like an immediate like, "Oh my god, you guys are fucked," because of just one miss. I'm gonna roll a. I'm gonna use a GM story point, and he says, "What was that?" And one of the lieutenants looks over at him and says, "That sounded like a gunshot." And Captain says to one of his information officers, he looks over at him and says, "I need eyes on the hallway." And you can see that a camera comes up, and you can see a couple of you can see a couple of your men dragging away one of their soldiers and killing the other one. And he says, "We need this room on lockdown now. We're submerging." And one of the lieutenants looks over at him and says that the hatch
isn't closed.
hatch open, sir. And Captain says, "We're gonna have to flood that hallway. We're going down."
And we don't know about this yet.
Nope.
No, we don't. Oh God.
Back
Right.
to you guys.
Knock
All
this dude unconscious as soon as possible.
All right. I just need one more easy, one purple brawl
One purple
check.
brawl.
Yeah.
3 successes, 1 advantage.
All right. You just knock
him
out.
unconscious.
He's unconscious. Yeah.
And Trent drags him to the side and points at this guy and says, "Help me take these two into that room."
So they
I-
bring him into that room, dump him. Trent, in this room, you see that there are a couple of people in here. Oops.
Nutter schnook.
Oh no.
These guys be working at like a lab. And they look over at you and they've already thrown like the clipboards and stuff on the ground, and you see a couple handguns on the ground next to you. It appears as though they've thrown their sidearms.
Been disarmed by my
Yeah.
crones. Nice.
Yeah.
Trent just sort of points at them and says, "Pin him down, time up."
All right. So they one guy they go over to him and they begin like rummaging around the laboratory here, like completely upturning everything. Looking for something to tie them up with, and eventually they come back with some material that they begin tying them up.
You know, we
Who's
probably should have brought rope.
Yeah.
Do I get to see this mess?
What's that?
Do I get to see this?
You're not in there right now.
All right.
Uzi, you see that the Russian that was with you, he's kind of like looking around, and he just says, eventually he kind of like looks over at you and just says, what are you, why are you here? What do you want?
Money.
I mean, money, that's it?
What else is there to life, really?
And he looks over at you and he just says, not country, not patriotism.
Meh. A little bit.
All right. So, Antonio, a couple of your guys come out of here. One of them kind of looks over at you and says, room's clear. Looks to be storage.
I'm like, all right, you guys are gonna help me silently breach this door over here. These guys were guarding it, so it seems to be important. Be prepared to fire because we don't know who's gonna be past this door.
Okay. Yeah, and they drag the dead bodies over here. And they get ready.
Stack up there, Abe.
Yeah. A couple of the guys come down the ladder finally, on the ones that we were missing. Let me do this.
Oh, are they aware of us submerging? So Trent is gonna be in here watching as they clean up, and I'm gonna head on out afterwards. You said that these other guys were coming out, so I'm going to assume I'm going to be sipping back out of the door as they come down the ladder.
Yeah. So the rest of them come down. One of them goes over to you, Antonio, like around the corner, and like asks you where do you want them.
I say, you guys are stacking up on the opposite hallway. Make sure nobody comes down. If they see you, if they already see you and they're already pointing guns, you have my permission to open fire.
Okay. They start heading down that way. So this is the point that I'd like to ask where everybody is.
Yeah, I'm still around where I am.
I'm going to assume that as they come by here, Trent is going to sort of assume command over here and lead them because he has the riot shield. He picks it up again and pulls out his pistol.
Sure.
Also, can I ask Trent? I'm basically just want to ask Trent, the hell is going on in that room?
Scientists getting tied up and shut down for right now. Non-lethal, non-lethal.
I'm gonna sling my rifle around my back and grab my machine gun.
Okay.
I'm of course going to go into the room to check if the scientists know anything.
Yeah, they're in there. They're just laying around, like tied up. Is there anything you want?
There's a couple unconscious people and a bunch of scientists who aren't really happy
Yeah.
right now.
Right.
Basically, I'm just going to ask them, the fuck are you doing here?
One of them looks over at you. He appears to be like the senior of the group. He says, we are studying. You have mission, no?
Studying what?
That's not your concern. And this entire time, like he's laying like flat on his face.
So he's on the ground flat on his face, right?
Yeah.
I go and take him by the head and say, friend, this is my problem now, even if you want it or not. So are you going to spill it out or no?
He looks over at you and he just says, I couldn't even if I wanted to.
Well, shit.
Reasonable person would ask, why is that?
Why is that? The fucking... Shut up.
He looks around and he just says, "I'm not allowed to." And he you can see he's got a lot of pain in his face all of a sudden.
Did the fucking government send you here?
And you keep asking him questions, and you see that a bunch it's like he's trying to talk, but his pain is covering his face entirely, and he begins convulsing.
Stop it,
Medicine
you're
check.
killing him with questions.
Medicine or perception check, possibly.
Yeah, you can if you'd like.
Medicine then.
Yeah, it's gonna be. This is gonna be a really difficult one. It's gonna be 4 difficulty.
No success
want
is
to?
no threat.
Success will be that you know why. This guy has just you don't know how, you don't know why. You do know that this guy begins foaming at the mouth. It looks like it's some sort of nerve agent.
Suicide pills.
And he begins your threat is gonna be that he begins convulsing so much that some flecks end up on your cheek. Some of the saliva ends up on your cheek. What do you do?
I clear it off.
Okay.
Are any of the other scientists left alive?
Yeah, there's 2 others on the right. This guy is Dunzo, and these other 2 will just change that to something.
Is this thing going to kill me now or not?
Rob looks over at you and says, I don't know. I didn't even know it would do that.
So you're just told in case of when tied up, take this, and you accepted?
No, we... And then, let's go to somebody else. I was can't think of an answer for.
All right, Trent is going to be bringing this team down the hallway.
Yeah, Trent, you're going down the hallway. You get to right about here. And you kind of zoom back into the captain. He says, I need men on those doors. I need A and B squad head down those shafts and intercept them. We need to dive immediately. And the officers again, they say, Captain, we're not ready for that. I mean, we've got 2 valves open. And the captain looks over at this one guy, and he says, he says to him, "Was that insubordination, Lieutenant?" And the lieutenant says, "No, sir. I mean, listen, we might scupper the ship." And the captain pulls out a handgun and blasts him away. And he looks over at the rest of the lieutenants and says, "Anybody else have any other complaint?" No? Okay. Down now. And we'll go back to you guys, where you guys hear a gunshot within this room right here.
It's
All right, Trent is going to speed up a little bit, get over to the door as quick as possible, and motion for them to hurry up.
Okay. You begin running down the hallway. These guys kind of begin running as well. And what was that, Abe?
I'm gonna go right behind Antonio, because I'm gonna help defend him.
Okay.
All right, I just say, all right, well, it looks like we're already partially compromised, at least. I kick down the door and immediately rush in. All right,
before you kick it down, I also want to mention that you do begin hearing sirens.
Yeah.
I just say, fuck, we're compromised. All right, shoot to kill. And I just kind of go over to the... And can I tell what these sirens are for, though?
This is roll me some sort of knowledge check. Something about military history or something like that. Just roll me a knowledge. And education.
Everyone?
Anybody that wants to know, I guess.
1 advantage,
No,
1 success.
It's at the bottom.
Oh, hey, it's working.
Advantage,
I already rolled on...
True threat.
1 success, 5 advantages.
And what?
It's literally my highest skill.
And yeah, I got one advantage, one success. So I think we might cancel out the threats at least.
Yeah, so everybody pretty much knows that like this is like the diving bell. This is the one that goes off when the ship is about when the submarine's about to like begin descent.
I basically screamed to one of Trent's people who was close to the door, get that thing shut now.
Okay.
And
Uzi,
and then
you would know this particular siren isn't playing in such a way that you would know that this is like a quick descent. This is one where like the ship is like
Emergency.
like emergency, like exhausting all vents, like they're heading down quick.
Shit.
And then after I say that, I go, shoot to kill, we're compromised. And just immediately kick the door down and just starts screaming,
Alright.
Viva la Vittoria!
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to look around, take the quickest look around possible for anything which looks of interest in this room, grab it, and then fucking run.
Anything interesting?
Anything interesting? Should I do a perception check of like difficulty 3 because I'm rushing?
Yes, please.
Ouch.
3 failures, but 2 advantage.
Okay.
I don't find anything.
A couple of these
No, you
tables,
say.
right? You see a couple tables. They appear to have some sort of like organic specimens on them. That appear to be. They're organic specimens. They're very small. They almost look like kelp of some sort. Like a weed. That grows in the lake. But you can't tell anything else. I mean, like you look at it quick, you're like, whatever, and you run out, right?
Yeah, I'll probably just have this. For now, in the time, in character, I do not care about this, but I'm probably going to have it later down the line in like next session.
Okay. Yep. So you go out here. This guy that's right here climbs up the ladder, and he begins attempting to close the hatch.
The hatch that we welded open and dropped down the ladder.
Open. You just welded the lock off, and yeah, there is a little bit of a hole that will spill in, but
It's going to slow down. I won't do anything to stop him.
eventually. Back to Antonio.
Basically, I just shouted, Viva la Vittoria! Shoot to kill! And just kicked down this door, immediately breaching it. And just pointing my gun at shut and shooting the first person I see.
A little bit about this room before you do that. The door that these guys are guarding is like it's like one of those hatches that you see on submarines. That's like half a
Can't
person.
kick it open. I half expected that. Every time
Yeah.
you said you wanted to kick it open.
Yep.
You have to turn the valve and open it.
Yeah, turn it to open it, unfortunately.
Oh.
Alright, so we turn the valve open, and I say, we kind of turn the valve to open, and then immediately I shout, Viva la Vittoria, and then kind of push my way in and shoot the first person I see.
Yeah,
Is that better?
It's locked.
And I just say, fuck. And
Check the corpses.
I hear that. I hear Antonio saying fuck. He is at the door, so I'm going to go towards where Trent is.
Okay. You begin running down this hallway. Trent, you see these guys getting closer and closer. They're like kind of like doing that weird military jog that people do when they're like.
I turn to them and I'm just like, cut that shit out, get over here, stack on, now.
Okay. So they are just about there, and you see in the doorway behind them, a couple guys poke their heads out and fire down the alley.
don't you get any of my men killed with this?
They're gonna fire down the alleyway into these guys.
Told you to fucking hurry.
So right at the doorways, right?
Yeah. So you
Where Darius is.
right here, Darius, and you see these guys run out. I mean, you see these guys poke their heads out. They have submachine guns. They're firing down the hallway at the guys that are below you, and you like skid to a stop. So I'm gonna roll some damage against these guys because there's no way they're not going to get hit from this. Okay, fuck it, we're doing it live, boys.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
Oh,
Bitch, we're
fuck
doing
it.
it left.
that's really not good.
Uh-oh.
Fuck's sake.
So these two guys like fire down into the hallway. The guy that is immediately next to them, like he ends up like he has a gigantic hole in his back and like falls to the ground. The guy in front of him begins to like turn around and get shot in the throat, and he kind of like falls over onto the ground and begins like bleeding out, like reaching for the rest of his guys to kind of like help me. And the next guy in front of him gets damaged.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, it was a really good roll.
Trent just yells at them, "Return fire!"
Yeah. So these guys get down to like right about when that guy gets to right there. These two kind of like look for cover, and this guy finally runs over here.
Get in that door.
This guy runs over here then.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Could I throw a grenade at these guys? How much damage would it cause to the submarine?
Throw a grenade between them if you'd like.
If it's a fragment grenade, it would cause like no damage to the submarine at all.
Well, that's basically what we are going to. What we are
But
implying.
you
them
are
to do.
guaranteed to kill these guys that just went down.
They are already dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them got bullet to the throat, and the other one has a
That's
massive asshole in his back.
Fair enough.
I know
Go
you're
ahead.
a hopeful bitch, but goddamn, you gotta be realistic sometimes.
This guy right here is absolutely no doubt about it, 100% dead. This guy is not dead yet, but
I
like I
saw
said, he has a bullet wound in his throat. He is bleeding out.
He's going to fucking die anyway. If anything,
All
I'm
right,
going to
just do it. You're good. We're good.
He doesn't need your permission. You're on the opposite side of the ship. It's his character.
I know.
Marius, where are you
difficult.
doing this?
Around, I'd say, here, maybe.
Okay.
So I throw a grenade and then go right back around the corner.
Yeah.
To difficulty?
Yeah. I'm gonna use a GM story point to make it more difficult. It's gonna be another difficulty. An advantage.
Ooh.
How do you want to spend your advantage?
If I,
They get the fuck
I'm-
down.
I'm pretty sure that I can use my advantage to use blast on them because of grenadier.
Okay, what's
Basically.
last do?
It deals damage depending on the rank. I'm pretty sure.
On the rank?
Yeah,
five.
it's 5.
So it would deal 5 damage total between the two of them.
All right. Well, they take some damage. Just splits between the two of them.
That's a lot of damage.
Yep. Antonio, you hear like gunshots and you hear a grenade going off, and like you hear like somebody screaming on the other side of the hall of the submarine.
All right. Lord, our only hope right now is that they're flushing them out, and I kind of say, all right, get in a bit of a kill circle here, spread out, and make sure you got your guns aimed on that door. Shoot anything that comes out, and then I kind of motion to the people who are more down the hall, and you guys, make sure you've got your backs. Make sure you've got your focus aimed on people coming down the hallway. We don't want anyone surprising us.
Okay, so these two go over here and they begin like aiming down the hallway, like ready to go.
These other 3 are basically around me, like preparing to shoot anything that comes through that door.
Okay. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm actually going to post myself up right here, so that way I can kind of move around if need be. I'm really not gonna try and put myself in any line of fire at the moment.
So, I am going to... May I use, with the permission of the group, a story point to make a narrative declaration?
Yeah.
Sure thing.
Sure.
Alright, so, there are these guys that had to obviously rush quite quickly to get into these rooms and sneak up on us, basically, while I was in this room. They forgot to lock this door.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did you
so-
actually use the point in
Those
Roll20?
guys had basically like they were over there. They ran out to intercept you guys, and they had completely forgotten about the officers' quarters or the command center in the center of the submarine because they're dumb shits.
Yep. So Trent is going to wrench this open as quickly as possible, doing the thing. He's going to tell the other two, eyes trained down that hallway, and he's going to step inside and fire a pistol immediately at this guy.
So these guys have they have Alamo'd this area, if that makes sense. Like they've made this their last stand. These guys are ready for people to begin attacking. And as these 5 guys are defending, you see the captain right here. And you also see, again, some people at each of these desks that you see right here. They're like making sure that the boat that the submarine
they're operating
is
the
operational. Yeah, they're operational. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to burst in, and as I burst in, I am going to attempt to. Would it be all right if I attempted to scare them with a coercion check, like just sort of wreck their nerves?
You can try.
Trent opens this door, kicks it open, and is just like, "Yo, bitch is ready to die!"
All right. So you kind of like push the door open with your foot because kicking it would probably break your foot. And you get into the door and you yell that. Go ahead and give me. This is going to be a 4 difficulty. And also
Coercion.
because I don't want you to succeed on this. I'm going to use a story point to make it 5 difficulty.
Sorry, my bad.
4 successes, 1 threat.
Nice.
Because
Nice.
my armor has the intimidating visage thing. That's an automatic success.
Okay.
And would it be all right for me to utilize one of our story points to negate that threat?
You know what?
Yeah.
way?
So they don't get any advantage from this.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Assuming
I approve.
everyone's fine with that. Yeah. Just
Yeah, we don't need
Yeah.
any more threats.
Always
basically,
anymore.
I burst in. Y'all bitches get ready to die? No? Then surrender.
Okay. Awesome. So we'll go back over to this guy up top. We see the scene of like you bursting in and like beginning to shoot into people. We go back to this guy, one of your goons, that is like climbing the ladder, and we see him like get to the top, and he's looking around, and the water is getting like closer and closer to him. And he grabs a hold of the hatch, and he begins to try to close it, but he gets stuck on something as he's trying to close it. And he's like trying harder and harder and harder, and he just can't quite get it. He looks it down, and he's kind of like really concerned at the moment because he's not sure what to do. He yells back down, "It's not closing!"
All right. I basically go. I kind of point at the other 2 goons over here. I say, "You 2, go help him." Yeah, those.
Okay. They begin running over, and
I'm gonna run over and help him also.
with you guys doing that, that'll be enough to eventually get that closed.
Yeah.
Who wants to do something now besides Trent? Because Trent, I got something special for you in a moment. But
Trent already.
I'm going to attempt to. Are any of the people with me the person that breached the initial thing?
The guys who had the blowtorch, you mean?
Yes.
When
Would they? Do any of the people I have with me right now have the blowtorch?
yeah, decide 1 or 2.
Let's go 2. And these guys at the front of it, and I just
Yeah, one of them has a blowtorch.
one of them. All right. So the guy closest to the door, I just kind of say, get it open. We've got to get in there.
Yeah, so the guy puts his goggles on, and you see like another guy, kind of like comes over, and he's just like he kind of puts his hand on his buddy, and he says, "I'll do you one better," and he pulls something. He reaches behind his back, and he pulls like this like little package out.
Oh, lovely.
And I just laugh at him and I go, "Oh, you're absolutely getting a promotion."
All right, he gives you the thumbs up, and he like attaches it to the door right here. And he looks back at me and he says, "I hope so. This was expensive." And these guys kind of like get the hell out of the way. And these two are like rigging up the C4 on the door.
I kind of back up, getting ready to charge in once they have everything
further away than that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get back over here then.
You
Try
want
to-
to be further away than that.
Okay,
You
I'll
want to be out
over
of
here
view
then.
of this shit.
Pretty much.
That area is going to be fucked. You want to be out of range of this shit and out of view of this shit.
So these guys come around the corner. One of them's got like a spool of something that he's got with him. And he hands a detonator to you, Antonio. And he says, "Give the word."
And I say, I scream, "Viva la Victoria!" and just boom.
Yeah, the guy that is next to the door is he's gone. There was a person there. Now there's not.
I pray to God that they heard me scream that from in there.
Yeah. So these two operators that are next to the door as well, they get like hit by the door, and they die.
Instant.
Let's go back to Trent. Trent, you see an explosion on the other side of the room. And
I smile ear to ear.
Yeah.
This can only help with intimidation.
Get on the fucking ground. Drop
All right.
your fucking weapons.
Okay. So you're yelling that. We'll stick with your successes from before. These guys are shaken. They'll take a large penalty to attacking, but they're not going to get on the floor.
All right.
What would you define as a big penalty?
Rather than being able to, they'll get some black dice, like 2 of them.
How do red dice
They
work?
get an additional. Are they going to be shooting at me?
They will be.
All right, so they get 2
Yeah,
black
so
die
that's-
plus an additional 3 because of my defense.
Damn.
Damn.
So 5 black die
right.
for anyone that tries to shoot at Trent.
Yeah. So these 4 guys are gonna like unload on you, Trent.
Shield
I
up.
need to see what happens. So let's do this.
Oh.
Because I also want them to attack separately. We're gonna do that. 2 difficulty and 5 black dice. And these guys are pretty tough, so we'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eventually they'll show up. So they're like unloading their AKs into you. Their AK-74Us into you.
I'm just holding up my riot shield and just like, hey, this is how you welcome somebody to the party.
Yeah. And the captain he's on the ground. Oh, there we go.
Failure, threat, and 3 threats.
Oh. Yeah, and then one of them to wash.
And wash.
Yeah.
Holy.
So basically, a couple of them begin they are so hectic right now and so unprepared for this. They begin shooting into the operators by accident
Oh no.
because there is there's dust everywhere and shrapnel.
Oh, if
everywhere.
there's dust, shouldn't their guns get jamming?
It's an AK. They don't get jammed.
true.
They don't jam.
Yeah, it's fucking 8K. They could run out of ammo though.
Yeah. So we'll
Spend
say that they
their
kill a
mags.
couple of the operators and
At least one of them
Well,
spends all their
yeah.
mags.
yeah. And the captain kind of turns around, faces the door over here, and he's got his gun, his sidearm, trained on the door. The operators of the submarine are still typing away at everything. They're not looking up at all. They're still they're glued to their screens.
Trent is just going to be like, get this sub rising again, or you get capping your ass personally from me.
Uzi,
Yes. You didn't
What are you
mention
doing,
it, sorry.
You cut out.
I'm
You just
going
said,
to-
what are you doing? That's all we heard. I was
Yeah.
like,
oh no problem.
Yeah.
Uzi, what are you doing?
I'm going to scream to those guys. I'm going to try to basically rally these guys down the other alleyway to start shooting these guys also.
Which guys?
The
These
guys
guys?
at the doorway. Yeah. To start shooting the guys at the doorway.
Yeah,
What's
so
your-
he's rallying Antonio's men near me to shoot the guys that killed their friends.
Ah, okay.
Hey, don't you want to take your fucking revenge? These fuckers are down, come on.
Okay, so they begin like firing at they begin firing at these guys, and Uzi, you like duck behind the corner, and there's like a gunfight. You cannot see what's happening at the moment because if you look down that hallway, you will probably get shot.
Yeah.
Abe,
Yeah.
you see the guys like climbing up the ladder. They're like climbing over each other, trying to get this hatch shut. There's something wrong with it. It will not close.
Okay. Do we have a story point available? Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I use
Yeah.
that to try and close the hatch?
Yeah, okay. I just changed it, by the way. You don't need to do the story point thing. So you use the story point, and you like climb up the ladder around these guys.
Ooh, I want to use my crowbar to help.
Yeah. So like the thing's stuck, and like one of Trent's guys goes on the outside and begins like trying to slam the thing shut. He's like doing his best to shut this door or this hatch.
While he's still out
And,
there. At least he could swim.
Yeah, he's just trying to like press it shut. Like it won't shut at all. And Abe, you eventually get this thing shut, but the guy is still on the other side.
He's still on the other side.
Yep.
Swim to shore. Bitches can swim. How far are we off the coast?
30 miles.
30 miles.
What about the boat? The boat should still be here, shouldn't it?
No, it left.
He left. He fucking left, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So, I mean, do you open the hatch for him to get it back in, or do you not want to risk it?
I don't want to risk it.
All right, so you hear like somebody on the outside like screaming, like "Let me in! Let me in! No, don't leave me out here! No, let me!" And then you hear like the water begin swooshing up against the sides as he begins like
Lay
banging
flat.
on the door.
Lay flat and float. If he's a big guy and he weighs quite a bit, it's actually easier
I feel
to fucking
bad,
float
but-
at the top of the water.
Yeah, so he's like banging on the door, like, "Please, no, you can't do this to me. I've got a family, I've got a wife."
He's still talking?
He's still yelling.
All right, I'm going to open it. I feel bad.
Do you open it?
I'm going to open it and pull him in.
All right, I'm gonna punish you for that. I'm gonna use a GM story point.
I know you are, but
You're
using
gonna
his
punish us for
character.
being nice people when we're literally criminals.
I know. So you let him in, and he's like sobbing when you open the hatch, and
Lots of
he
water.
he falls down, and you like try to shut it again, and like the same issue you having before happens again, where it will not shut.
For fuck's sake.
The water is beginning to lap up against the hatch at this point.
Fucking
I-
crowbar it shut.
I'm guessing my crowbar is damaged.
Not necessarily damaged, so you can still use it.
Can I try to give the fucking toolbox set to one of the guys to bring up there to help Abe with?
You don't have enough time.
Yeah.
You literally have seconds to make a decision here, Abe.
I'm gonna try to slam it shut and pry the crowbar down with it.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need, and again, this is like super fucking difficult.
Mhm.
It's gonna be 4 difficulty. You're going to have 1 black die because I used a story point before. There's something wrong with it. You're gonna also have another one because whatever it is stuck on, it's not moving. So you got 4 difficulty and 2 black die versus your brawn.
My brawn?
There is no brawn check, so the closest thing would still be brawl.
Yeah, all right, we'll do that.
Use as many fucking story dice as you need to upgrade those green to yellow. How many do
Alright.
we have? Because
You have our full permission to use as many. You can drain the
How many do we
entire
have
thing
left?
if you want.
You have 2.
Yeah. All right.
2.
I'm making my 2 green, 2 yellow. All right.
All right.
1 success. Oh wait, what?
I don't know if it's necessarily something you can do, but I'm gonna let you because I think it's fun.
That's actually one of the in-book uses for the story dice, upgrading green to yellow.
No, I'm saying I don't think you can use 2 of them.
Oh, I don't know. 1 success and 2 threats.
All right, so this thing shuts. You like last second, like the water begins pouring in, you get this thing shut. Your threats.
Water poured in.
Your threats are gonna be that
Now you're drenched.
you're drenched for one thing. That's not gonna be the threat. I don't know. What do you guys think would be a good threat?
It's only one thread. Don't
Broken
make it too
crowbar.
hard.
Broken crowbar, and there's another hole.
I mean, there is still going to be a small hole from where we drilled in, so that's coming in. His crowbar's
going
been
to-
fucked.
Yeah.
I give
How's
that
about
recommend.
this? I like this one a lot more. How's about this? You get a shut, but because the compression is like all fucked up, it begins like collapsing in on itself, like the top of the submarine. This little like tunnel to the top of the submarine,
From
like
one
you know
thread?
the tower. No,
From
it's
one
2 threads.
It's 2 threats.
It's two.
And here's the
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
here's the
Sorry, my
thing.
bad.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying the sub's gonna sink. I'm not saying that anybody's in real danger from that. What I'm saying is he needs to get out of there before he gets stuck.
Alright, so get the hell out of there!
Go down the ladder.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down the ladder.
All right.
Hmm.
Roll some sort of agility.
So
There
now
is
we
an-
are.
Coordination. Roll coordination.
Also, a quick question: aren't we meant to be out of story points now?
Yeah.
1 advantage.
All right. So you
Gonna
won't take
mark
too much
down.
damage. You'll just take a little bit. You take 4 damage minus your soak from this. Where what happens is you fall off of this because the water's like pouring all over you. The ladder's slippery. You fall down. You take 4 minus your soak. You're fine. Not a big deal. But there's still water like pouring in very slowly, like a trickle, but still it's happening. Let's go back to the gunfight that's happening in the bottom. So Antonio.
So we're gonna be like, alright, fall in. And I'm
Alright.
gonna lead the charge, of course, and just go in there and shoot the first thing I see. And I'm just gonna tell everyone to follow up behind me.
All right.
Train
And I
shot
just
from this
say,
guy on the
and
door.
as I go in,
What?
I say, Morto Peruso,
All right.
which basically means death to the Russians.
Cool. So you go ahead and take a shot at whoever you'd like.
I'm going for a captain here who's aiming this thing at the door.
2 difficulty and one setback die because he is laying on the ground and he was prepared for you guys to come running through.
All right.
2 purple, 1 black.
So,
Yep.
alrighty.
Raw success.
Ooh.
Awesome. How much damage is that?
8.
8. Cool. So you fire at the captain. He's got like a big you tear through his uniform and he like lands and like falls backwards in like this giant round table that's in the center. Like he presses up against it. But he's gonna like aim at you again with like his one good arm. Try to fire back at you. We'll do that in a moment.
But yeah, I ordered my guys to fall in behind me as well.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, so they're gonna do this. All right. So they're gonna just start lighting stuff up, but the captain's gonna shoot at you with his pistol. 2 difficulty, and do you have anything that helps you with shit and stuff and things?
Got a bulletproof vest but that mostly does soak.
It's a complete wash. He misses.
Nice.
Shoots wide from the pain.
Yeah, he shoots wide, and like he has like a computer terminal in it. It kind of like begins like frying. And again, these guys, they're like at the terminals. They're all like they're still working. They're doing their best to keep the submarine from completely sinking.
Trent is going to charge up here, punch this guy as hard as possible in the face with his fucking shield.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah,
no,
go ahead
I have
and
brass
roll.
knuckles. I'm just going to like sort of hold the pistol to the side and slam him in the face. There we go. 3 successes.
You punch this guy right in the mouth. I think that how much damage was that?
Actually, I should have rolled my weapon, but
I think
Here,
that
let
it
me just-
should be 7.
brass knuckles. 7 damage total because of the 2 extra successes beyond the first.
Oh, geez, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
I punch him square in the jaw, and then I'm going to
because
turn
of
to the guy
minion-
next to him.
Yeah, because of minion stuff, a couple of the other guys take some damage because that's how minions work.
I punch him, like grab his AK and chuck it at another dude.
Yeah. You're gonna shoot the operator?
I'm turning to this guy and I'm saying, raise this submarine.
He doesn't understand what you're saying.
I
Dipshit.
point upwards.
He looks up.
I point at the ship, and then I point up, and then I point a gun at his face.
All right, he like begins like typing stuff on the computer.
And then I'm looking at these other guys. I still have my shield up. I'm just like, put your fucking guns down.
Uzi,
Yes.
you hear the gunfire stop in the hallway, and you hear like footsteps, like a couple of guys like running down the hallway.
I'm just going to ask, are they dead yet?
What language?
English.
Okay. You don't get a response back. You poke your head out.
Fuck.
You poke your head out the window, out the hallway, and these guys are they're dead.
Oh.
But there is a casualty.
Oh. We lost some good men today.
You don't know that in character yet. So shut.
I know.
Yeah.
I
You don't
didn't.
know that you've lost anybody.
Yeah, as far as I've known, this has been a sweeping success with
You
no
can grieve
casualties.
later. You can grieve later.
Yeah. So Uzi, where do you go?
I'm probably going to start walking down through here.
Walking?
Not walking, running, sorry.
I'm like,
Oh, yeah, I'm
bitch,
just casually
I'm in a
walking
gunfight
through
here.
To the fucking...
Dear Lord.
Can I do a perception check to quickly check if there is any interesting in the rooms to where these guys were hiding? Where they-
Yeah, go ahead.
3 difficulty because I'm trying to...
2 difficulty.
Alright.
You're not in any danger right now, so 2.
That's 2 successes.
Yep.
Cool. So you see that there's like the one to your right, your character's right, our left, is like a
Yep.
utility closet that like like eventually runs into like conduit and like the insides of the walls.
Yep.
Which is where that guy was. The one on your left, over here, appears to be like a barracks of some sort.
Just the guard barracks where they sleep, right?
Yeah.
Not where they would keep any weapons.
We can loot shit after everyone's dead, and we have
Yeah.
this place secure, you bitch. You hear Trent screaming in the back of your head. It's your conscience.
All right.
Use a story
Abe,
point for that.
Abe, what are you doing right now?
All right, so now that I'm soaking wet and
A bit hurt.
yeah, I'm gonna run over here. Run right here. Yeah, I'm actually gonna. I'm gonna run right here because I'm guessing it's really crowded right where I am.
Yeah, all the cronies and
Yes.
stuff are over here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stay here and just keep guard in case anyone else comes. In case like there's another area that people are at.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna stand right here.
Okay.
I'm just standing here.
I'm just standing here. All right, cool. So we'll go back to Antonio. Antonio.
I'm going to basically order. All right, you, kind of like from my perspective, you leftmost, get leftmost, middle, get middle, rightmost, get rightmost. I've got captain.
Him there, you there, you there, you there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So they begin like firing into the room, like execution style, lighting the place
Damn.
up. It's like
And
the
then
shootout. It's like the shootout at the OK Corral right now.
And then I just slowly walk up to him, I get up real close, and I just put the muzzle of my shotgun right into his mouth.
Okay.
And I just say, Buonanotte, and pull the trigger.
Okay. So I will need a roll for that because he's not completely incapacitated. It'll just be 2 difficulty, and that's it.
All right.
2 difficulty shotgun. That looks
Never
like
mind.
3 successes and 2 threat.
Okay. You kill him. He's dead. You blow his head off. So this guy's head like explodes, and you see that there are like what appear to be like these guys are like completely disheartened at this point. They'll probably give up soon. But the captain, he gets his head blown off. The 2 threats are going to be used as you get splashback on yourself, like all over yourself.
Your suit is fucking ruined, Dodo!
Yeah,
I
that's what
just look at myself and say, Porco Dio!
I just imagine you performing a spite. You got blood on my suit, we just call it.
Oh no, that's just about the worst swear in Italian that could possibly be uttered.
Oh no.
To the point
That
where
guy-
it's actually considered blasphemy to speak it.
These 2 guys end up getting like killed in like a hail of gunfire bullets. And you got 1 guy left who like kind of like goes into the corner, kicks a chair in front of him, and like hunkers down.
Trent is, like, Uzi, get in here!
I'm just going to rush because he actually calls me, so that means that I won't be
we're
fucking
kind of
killed.
out of
but-
combat. You can go wherever you'd like now.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, I'm gonna be like, Uzi, get in here. Tell these fuckers to raise the submarine already.
If you don't want to fucking die, raise this submarine before we all drown. I just
And
screamed
I-
that in Russian.
I'm going to approach over here to the guy hunkered down, just like, toss your gun to the side, or you take a bullet to the brain.
I follow behind and repeat that in translation.
Okay. All right. He'll toss his gun.
I put my foot on the gun and kick the AK back towards Darius a little bit further, so it's out of its reach completely.
Okay. Yeah, you see that the operators are still like keeping the ship going.
I just kind of yell over to Trent. Any casualties?
Yeah, sorry, boss.
Ah, fuck. Are they mine?
Unfortunately.
From the sounds of it, yes. You'll have grieve later now, though.
Shit. Alright, well, we're gonna be a little bit our purses are gonna be a little bit lighter because we're gonna have to pay for funeral costs. But we'll handle
Worry
that
about
later.
that later. And Trent is going to turn to these guys and Darius as well and just be like, get them to fucking raise the submarine.
I basically just start screaming at them to raise this fucking submarine and also
Okay.
try to... And at the same time, also start working on one of those computers to raise it.
Okay.
Because
so
of high intellect.
this guy like right here, like kind of like looks over his shoulder just for like a second, and looks back over at the computer, and he kind of says over his shoulder something in Russian. Darius, you understand it just mean like it's too late for that now.
Shit.
What'd he say?
It's too fucking late.
I turn to him and say, make it not too late. And I point a gun at him.
All right.
I'm just gonna translate that.
So he turns around, and you're like right up against him. He turns around, he stands up, he looks over at you. And he says in like really broken English, "It's too late."
I
You
pull the
actually
slide
know what
on
I'm
my
going to do?
pistol.
You do what?
I'm going to go to one of the computers which is still not broken, where one of these guys is dead. Push him aside. So, out of the way,
Okay.
please.
Yeah.
And start working myself.
Okay, you look at the computer. It appears as though you were like descending rapidly.
I pull the slide on my gun, point it square at this guy's face, look him dead in the eyes, and say, "Make it work." Can I roll a coercion?
Yeah.
All right. What difficulty do we got here?
I'll call it 3.
Telling the guy to basically do the fucking impossible.
Yeah.
3 successes, 1 threat.
Okay. So he kind of like glares at you, and he says, again in broken English, "Too late. Only one with codes dead."
That's
here
what
you-
the threat was. That what it wasn't
I'm
my.
using a story point also.
Yeah, that's more than fine with me.
Trent turns his head over to Antonio and just like, check him. See if he's got anything on him.
I'm frantically searching this guy's pockets.
Yeah.
While I
So-
hear this, I just start trying to crack the codes, basically.
Okay. So like Antonio, you
Computers.
currently are looking through this guy's like pockets. You see like a couple of like just to begin with, like this guy is wearing like his dress uniform. He's got like medals across the entire thing, like covered. Like you look at those old like Soviet Union, like World War II generals or soldiers that have pinned medals across their entire chest. That's what this guy looks like. You look through his pockets and you just find like some like scribble, like a notebook that's like a pocket notebook in like Russian. It has some notes in it. You see like a key around his neck, and that's all you really find of any value.
I sprint over with this and hand it to Darius. Key and notebook. No clue. I'm checking on my men, see if I can save anyone. I start sprinting in the hallway they came from.
I just start reading what the fuck is in the book.
Okay, so let's go to Antonio real quick. Antonio, you see your guy right here. He is just about bled out completely. The guy that got shot.
All these other guys here are dead for sure.
Everybody with an X on them are.
All right, I run up to him and I just go, no, hold on. I kind of like, basically I'm like, fuck, it's already stained. I kind of take off my necktie and just start holding it against. Stay
Turning
with
it,
me, kid.
tourniquet.
Stay with me.
Yeah.
I have it.
Yeah, so he's got like you get a good look at him, and like he probably is like one of the younger of the guys that went with you. He had maybe like 25, and he's currently like you can see like bubbles forming like in the neck wound and like out of his mouth, and he's just staring at you, trying to say something, but he can't get it out.
All right, fuck.
Call out.
I just say, someone help me out over here. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm gonna run up to him and use my first aid kit.
Okay, you go over there. Go ahead and try. This is going to. Oh my god.
5 difficulty.
What is this? Medicine?
I'm
5
trying to
would be
think. Like I did pretty much say he's dead. I was doing this more so narratively, but I'll let you roll for it because fuck it. This sounds like fun. 5
Yeah.
difficulty. We're also gonna make 2 black dice.
5 sounds a
difficulty,
bit
2 black.
overkill for me.
Anything for
He's
actually
supposed to
having a
already
medic.
be dead.
Oh yeah. What do I get for having a first aid kit?
Yeah.
You get to make the roll.
that sounds
Well-
about right to me.
Well,
Well, let's see if the dice are with you.
nah, your boy dead as fuck. 2 failures and 3 threats.
I'm just
So,
kind of like there, like, kid, stay with me. Stay with me.
yeah.
You
So
just
you
ma-
can see like a single tear like going down like his side of his head, and he's like holding on to your like hand, and he's like shaking.
Let his hand lose its grip.
And yeah,
That's-
exactly. Like he begins to
Yeah.
like he just chokes on his blood and dies.
I'm just like,
You
I
just
just
ma-
kind of like close his eyelids, and I'm saying, nothing could have been done. Thanks for helping, Abe.
I'm sorry, I tried.
Hey, don't worry about it. He was dead when we got here. I just don't know what I'm gonna do to explain to his family. He's a kid after all. Alright, let's get back to it. And I kind of start running back in. Alright, what's our progress?
So you go back in there, and at this point, the operator's just kind of like aimlessly walking around the room. Like, what do we do at this point?
Did
No,
I
they
give...
aren't. I'm forcing them to stay at their terminals.
Oh, you threaten them?
Stay.
So
All right. So
since
one of them kind of like looks over at you, the same one that you talked to before, and he like looks over at his friends and just says something quietly in Russian, and they all just stand up.
I'm gonna, with my rifle.
Is this like a pillar or a console in the center?
That's like a console.
All right, so I can see over it.
Wait, I'm guessing I see this because I'm in the room now.
Yeah.
And since I just had someone die in my arms, I'm gonna run up with the with my rifle, point it right at the guy's head, and just be like, "He told you to stay still. Now sit the fuck down and stay there."
I'm
The
just
guy
going to say...
responds, "No hablo inglés."
This is the same guy that speaks a little bit of English. He looks over at Trent and he just says, "Big scary men say stay. You say stay." And he looks over at like Uzi for a second. And he says, "How you say?" He says something in Russian to Uzi, and he's saying, "How do you say Fubar in English?"
Darius doesn't even know. FUBAR stands for fucked up beyond all reason. It's a fucking military slang for this is dead.
This is fucked. We're
This is
all
awful.
dead. There's nothing you can do.
I'm just going to tell him, would you rather die like a little bitch or actually try to not die?
At this point, he begins like arguing in Russian, and he says,
I fire my bolt gun straight at the ceiling and then point it at him again. Sit the fuck down.
Okay, he kind of like flinches when you do that, and like he quiets for a moment, and looks over at you, and he begins like yelling at Uzi again, saying like, "You do not understand what this vessel is for, do you? You do not know what we have here, do you? You don't know what any of this is."
I take out my cell phone and I basically I call what was his name? The guy who got us here, Stevie. I attempt to call Stevie, and I'm like, does he actually pick up?
Yeah. So what happens is you call Stevie, and at first you get like his voicemail, and the voicemail goes like, "Hey, how's it going? Nah, this is Stevie. You got my voicemail. Sorry. Leave a message after the thing, and then beep."
And I say, Stevie, I don't know who the fuck your General Ford's your contact, right? Well, tell him that we've got the ship held, but it's sinking. All right, we need them over here as fast as fucking possible. It's secure. We just can't get it back up.
Trent is going to turn to Izzy
I-
and say, check the computers, see if you can do anything. See if these guys are just fucking idiots.
You go over to the computer. Trent.
I want to do something. Would everyone be fine if I use the story points to remember that fucking thing I saw in the first room to the left to the right of the entrance?
Yeah, go ahead.
The algae I used.
Yeah.
I remember that it was there. So basically I realized that they were researching something with the algae in here.
Yeah. Real quick, Trent. As Uzi is going back over to the computer, the guy that you were talking to that knows a little bit of English kind of sighs. He looks back over at the at this computer and he begins to type something.
What are you doing?
I've still got my gun pointed right at his head. Also,
Yeah. Do you do anything?
I'm
Call me.
gonna pull him away from the computer.
I'm gonna grab his wrist and drag
You
his
don't want
hands
to call
away
me
and say,
over?
"What are you doing?"
And he kind of like looks over at Uzi, who Uzi is currently like looking at his computer and doing whatever he can. And this guy just says, he says, "Do you have objection to me working with computer?"
I'm just going to go quickly over there and take a look at what the hell he was doing.
Okay.
Is he typing
Should I
anything
roll?
suspicious?
You read what he was typing, and basically is like a command to like remove all. You know, like the have you ever heard Linux?
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
It's basically, I don't remember what the exact command is, but it's basically that.
And what will it do?
It deletes everything. It wipes the system. It like the operating system, everything.
Did he
He wants
actually
to fucking delete everything in
He
here.
almost did, but he didn't.
I think I want to shoot him in the head.
I'm going to shoot him before you. Fuck you. I'm actually not.
You
Give me
like
a
pull
sec.
your gun out and point it at his head, and he just kind of stares at you.
No,
kinda
no,
like,
no,
yeah,
no.
it's my time. And then
Put a
you put your
grenade
gun down.
Yeah, fine.
Trent.
Don't let
is
them
going-
work. They're going to fuck us over. Immediately take them off.
Trent is going to turn to everyone else and say, "Tie them the fuck up." And he's going to grab this guy. He still has his wrist. He's going to fucking chokehold this guy until he's unconscious.
I'm going to go to Antonio and say, there's a fucking... I don't know exactly what it is, but they are inspecting the algae in here. Go back to the room. Go back to the room you can look at. Back up to the entrance and grab that thing from there. You'll recognize it when you see it.
So Antonio, one of your guys begins like corralling all these scientists or operators up, and begins five of them or 4 or 5 of them begin like shepherding them out of the room.
All right, I'm gonna start sprinting through the other way and go to this room he's talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna start sprinting in. I say, "All right, where's the codes?"
I told you to look for the genetic thingy I saw in there at the start.
I'm
That's what I
looking
would
for
told
that
you.
as well, but I'm also asking
right.
them in case they know.
They don't speak English.
And I'm like, fuck. And I start looking for this genetic whatever, whatchamacallit.
Yeah, something. I just said, in character, you'll probably just recognize it if you see it.
Yeah, so you go in there, you see these 2 tables with like microscopes and like specimens. There's organic specimens on the table. And it appears as though like these specimens are currently under like a lot of tests and stuff. Like one of them is like in a vacuum. Another one is inside of like another one's like a nearly absolute Kelvin. Another one is like currently on a Bunsen burner, that sort of thing.
Like, fuck, which one did he... I think this one's the safest. And I attempt to grab the one in the vacuum, with the vacuum included.
It's like
Okay,
a
so you pick it up.
vacuum
It's really heavy.
I'm like, oh,
It's,
fuck.
it's probably like 100 pounds.
And I'm like, alright, that's not gonna work. And I look for something lighter, but that's not gonna get on me.
Would I have
One of
an
those
egg?
with-
My question is what is your end goal here?
I'm going to
just-
get this out of here and get it back to him, and without it getting on me. Because I don't trust it.
Okay.
Hey, Darius, would you like to maybe
Yep.
do a fucking like computers check or some shit to see if you can figure anything out and break the code and bypass it?
By this time, I probably should have done a computer's check. What
So
difficulty?
yes, fucking roll that shit.
What
Okay,
difficulty
yeah,
do you want
4
me to?
difficulty.
Boop. One
All right.
success and 1 try.
The success is that you know how to do it. The disadvantage is that you need at least one other person to help you with it. You need a willing person to work with you to operate this thing to send it back to the surface. I mean, this is a giant, like, multi-ton submarine that requires multiple people to operate it. Minimum 2 people are needed to get this thing surfaced.
You need one of these guys.
Or fine. Okay. I'm getting confused. Wait. I'm discovering how to do new shit in Roll20 now. All right.
So you see Antonio's guys basically like lining these guys up into this room.
Yep.
Y'all need to do an impassioned speech as the only person that fucking speaks Russian, and we can't utilize our charm, coercion, deception, leadership, or negotiation.
Yes.
That's a shame.
So, negotiate.
All right. Who here doesn't want to fucking die? Hand up. Okay, blink twice instead.
So these guys, all of them kind of like look over at you, and one guy is about to raise his hand, and then like one of the soldiers like punches him in the face.
Punch the soldier in the face.
I pointed the guy who punched him in the face.
I'm sorry, what?
I think we were all about to punch the guy in the face.
I was just screaming at Darius, punch the soldier in the face.
I can.
Jay should be tied up. We tied up all the soldiers.
Shut up. We don't do continuity here.
Fuck continuity.
Yeah, fuck continuity. That's not fun.
Alright.
I'm going to point to the guy, to another soldier who didn't punch him in the face, and say, "You, help me bring that guy back to the computer room. I need his help."
I'm asking one of them to help you with the computers.
No, I'm asking one of the soldiers to help me to bring one of the guys to the computers.
I think you might have better luck asking one of my guys.
Yeah, that was what I was doing.
Okay. Alright.
Point to one of
Well,
Antonio's.
alone.
Yeah. So one of the guys comes up and he begins like pulling somebody away.
It was the one
And
guy
all
who
at
almost
once,
raised
like-
his hand.
And all at once, these Russians kind of like begin like saying stuff all together at the same time. They're all kind of like protesting this.
To the point where I can't understand.
Yeah, to the point of where like they're all talking over each other.
Calm down, your fucking band. We are not executing you one by one. We are not a fucking communist here.
Can I join him in this because I've been following along? Can I assume I'm nearby?
Yeah.
So Trent is going to head on over, and on the sound of them all screaming and whatnot, I'm going to step on inside, step to the side, pull out my own AK, fit the magazine in. I'm doing this all very like show-offy.
Yeah, nonchalantly.
I pull the thing to lock it in, and I start firing into the ceiling.
Okay.
And I look at
That
all
is
these
the
guys.
dumbest fucking idea. We're in
Yes.
a fucking submarine.
Yeah, it's not gonna go through that many layers. Fuck you. It's coercion.
Uh,
And then I'm going to look at these guys and be like, keep talking, you get the next mag. And I'm going to butt Darius to translate that for me.
yep.
All right. Normally
while
it would be
the-
2 difficulty,
while
but
I-
it'll be 3 because you're talking through somebody. And I'm also going to use a story point to make it 4.
Yeah, that's fine, I think.
+1 guaranteed success. Alright, so it's just 3 threat. Because this thing doesn't want to fucking do anything.
All right. So like somebody comes forward.
Oh.
Oof.
Well, that
Somebody-
first coercion would have been a lot better. Three successes, a threat, and a fucking triumph if this thing would have been faster!
Somebody comes forward and they.
I'm
just
gonna
say,
use a story point to say, please give me that story roll.
Nope. Somebody comes forward. Somebody comes forward and they say, I help, yes?
Yes. Now
All
come
right,
on.
and then like
fucking
another
go.
Russian, another scientist operator comes up and begins speaking with them in like whispers.
I am going to butt him in the face with the AK. No talking. No whispers.
Okay. And the one guy that came forward is like, no, please.
I
look him
think we
dead in
let
the
him.
eye. So I'm butting in the face of the guy who was trying to whisper to this guy to get him the fuck
Yeah, I know.
off. Stop
I know.
fucking colluding.
I don't. He just says, no, please. He speak?
Speak loud enough
Yes.
for everyone to hear.
All right, he just speaks in Russian to his friend, just like very matter of factly. He just says, "You understand what the penalty for this is, right?" And then the other guy goes, "Yes, I'm completely aware. We don't really have much of a choice now, do we?" And the other guy says, "I know we don't have much of a choice, but I mean, we're fighting for something, right? I mean, we're here for a reason." And the other guy goes, yes, we are, and we can't get to there. We can't get to that point if we're all dead. Now, excuse me." And the one follows Trent.
That's
About
better.
fucking time.
All right, let's get this show on the road. And I'm assuming at this point, Antonio brought back one of the samples, and he's like, "What do you need this for?"
This might make us the money. It's
They
surely
want-
what these guys have been here for, at least. I have no idea. 100%.
Fine, but I'm leaving it on this fucking console. I don't want to touch it. He's kind of been using his sleeve to touch it the entire time.
Yeah.
He kind of puts it on the main console. He's
Yeah.
like, no.
So, Darius, you and this guy get to a terminal, to two terminals.
Yep.
And he kind of like deletes what the other guy had written, if you guys haven't already. And he begins like typing in like commands into it, and you do as well. And you
I do kinda-
slowly feel the course correction as you guys begin heading directly up.
Yeah.
But Antonio does this, basically makes a sigh of relief, and he says, "All right," and he kind of like talks to these two. How do I make it so it actually, kind of, like, how do I make it so you can see what I'm clicking on?
Click it.
You hold, you click.
These
Yeah.
guys right here. I basically tell them, "All right, go count our dead and bring them with us. We're gonna definitely need a bit of a procession."
Okay. These guys end up getting brought over as well at some point, right? Is that cool with you guys?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, cool. You guys eventually surface again, and the water begins to stop coming down the ladder. You guys see that there are 4 guards against these 12 guys that are in this room. And
Who you have definitely disarmed.
yes, you disarmed every single one of them. Of course you have.
I'm just going to make sure that's obvious.
That's obvious, yep. So what we're going to say, are they tied up or what?
Yes!
Yes.
What are they tied up with?
Yes.
I have
Wires, cords.
They're tied up with yes. Fuck you.
Yes.
Hey, wait, you use the narrative story point, right? At this point, I'm gonna be like, hey, doop-de-doop-de-doo, use this fucking story point. Hey, look, we fucking brought rope.
I
We
did bring
realized we brought rope, and we brought a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
it.
You tie them up. Yeah, you tie them up.
Holy shit.
All right, so
All right. So you guys surface again. It is probably right around like 6 or 7 p.m. And the submarine gets to the surface of the lake, and you feel the submarine begin to like rock back and forth. And you also, as you guys kind of like, oh yeah, we did it. We're awesome. Everybody kind of like gets back together, and Trent,
Yeah?
one of your guys comes to you. He pulls you aside, and he's just like, "Can I talk to you?"
Sure.
So he says, "Can you just?" It's like he didn't know what to say. He says, "Can you come with me?"
How important is it that this be between just you and me?
I don't trust anybody right now.
Well, that there is a problem, friend.
You'll see what I mean. And he just kind of walks out the door.
I'll follow along.
He goes up to here, and you see one of your guys, the guy that got into the argument with that dude at the beginning of the session. He has like a slash wound across his back, like into his lungs, and he's dead on the ground.
Trent looks at him and is just like, well, ain't that fun.
Yeah,
God.
well, I mean, he kind of like takes a little bit, and he's just like, I'm not saying it was Antonio's guys, but I will say that I don't trust them.
All right, I know how to fix this. Trent's going to basically, these guys are tied up. We're gonna lock the fucking door. Trent is going to get every single member of the crew up to the surface and line them up, put their weapons aside, and frisk every single one of them for blades.
Okay, is anybody
before he does this, he's going to explain to Antonio why he's doing this.
Okay.
And I said, all right, well, can we at least make sure that the person who did this isn't already dead from the fight?
Yeah, you can check the corpses too, but we're still checking everyone here. 2 people with blades means either one of them could have done it.
Well, considering we just went to a military base, I'm assuming a lot of people have combat knives.
Well, then those are all be suspects. We frisk them.
Fair enough.
Okay. You bring every single man up to the top. You count the ones that are dead right now. 2 of them have knives that are dead. You get to the top, and you frisk everybody. They don't really respond to it. They just kind of let it happen. 5 of them have blades.
All right, who has blades, and how many of them are among my own men?
One of your own guys has them. The rest of them are Antonio's.
All right, does anybody want to confess?
And I kind of interrupt him. Listen, for to do this to you fellas, there just seems to, for some reason, be some reek of mutiny. But, listen, if you do...
I know what happened to the last guy who didn't cooperate with Antonio. It wasn't pretty. Last guy who didn't cooperate with me either, it wasn't pretty for them. We need to be able to trust each other in this business, and if y'all are gonna be stabbing each other in the backs, then we don't want you. Now, confess now, and we'll just break your bones a little bit instead of killing you. How does that sound?
Everybody just kind of stares at each other, and nobody says anything.
I think it was the guys who actually got killed. These men... As for these guys, these are my men. I know that one of your guys got killed, but I can take care of this. I hope you can trust me to take care of this.
Trent looks you square in the eyes and says, if you don't take care of this, we're gonna have a problem, so you'd best do that.
I'll... Trust me, you have my solemn word that... You have my solemn word.
Don't give me your pleasantries and words. Just get the job done. Trent is not one for long conversations about this kind of stuff.
And I kind of wait until he's gone, and I said, listen, we're not actually going to break your fucking bones. There was obviously a lot of accusation around, but I'm just saying, you're definitely not going to get made. We need to trust each other, and we need to be able to trust all of each other. If we can't figure out who stabbed this guy in the back, we're gonna think that everyone's gonna go stabbing each other in the back. And that's not the kind of family I want to run.
So one guy speaks up and like interrupts you and just says like, "How's that fair to us? I didn't do anything."
I know you didn't do anything. I know that for a fact. But how would you like just one day you kind of disgruntle one of your other soldiers, and he comes back to your home and stabs you in the back for cheating him at poker? If that was even what you did. he accuses you of cheating at poker, and he stabs you in the back the next day. I don't know about you, but that's not the kind of people I want in my organization.
Where do you have the body, by the way?
It's... is it still downstairs?
It's where you left it, unless you said otherwise.
And I'm gonna basically say, come on, everyone, we're gonna go look at this, and we've gotta get some sort of confession out of here. We're not gonna actually break anyone's fucking bones. I'm not that brutal.
Meanwhile, what Trent has been doing during this is he's gone back downstairs to check the corpses again and see which one was the motherfucker who was getting riled up because of being accused, if any of the corpses were that guy.
Yeah. So you go back down there and you look into the doorway where that guy had been stabbed again. And you kind of think to yourself, whatever. And then you like look again. I need a perception check. It's gonna be too difficulty.
Well, it's a good thing I'm awful at perception.
Yeah.
That's it. My
Just two
perception is
threats?
literally one green die. I'm awful at it.
All right. So you look in and you see, you'll see what you need to see, but it's not gonna be pretty. You look in and you see like this ooze growing out of this guy's back where he was stabbed. It's like this green stuff that's like beginning to like coalesce around the wound.
Can we, if possible, can we flip back to my guy in between, or?
I feel like you
after-
completely misheard what I said I was doing when I came back down.
Yeah, I know you're going down. You're looking around. I just wanted to make sure you were able to see that.
Okay.
You look around. The guy that accused him of being a cheater is upstairs.
All right. So, can I come in to this room? I noticed the green. That's unusual.
Yeah.
Hey, Darius, where are you?
Actually, could I do something during this time, which is to search the captain's body, at least to
Okay.
take his gun?
You take his gun.
Yes, and I keep it for
Yep.
later.
Well, you answered my question. I should have just asked, was the guy who was getting flustered about this upstairs, and you said yes.
He's
So I
upstairs.
wouldn't have even been doing this that much. So I'm gonna come back to this body and I'm gonna look at it and see this green stuff, and that's weird. Hey, Darius, can you hear me?
I'm just going to get over there.
Take a look at this.
Yeah,
You know this
what
shit better
the
than I
fuck?
do.
Should I do a medicine check or perception?
Medicine.
Two?
Don't roll with any difficulty. I want to see how well you do.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, this is definitely like some of that stuff that was on the table before that the scientists were working with.
That you made me pick up.
It didn't get in any wound. Shut up.
Oh, it didn't get in anyone. Obviously, it got in someone.
Did you not notice the body while you were walking past it? You're looking pretty sus right now. I'm sorry, I had to.
Sorry,
I
it's
had to.
fucking Among Us. Oh, god damn it!
Yeah. So everybody comes back down and
Can I have my pep talk with my people, like, continuing?
Yeah.
And alright, I'm basically, as we're coming down, listen, it's not that I don't distrust any of you. If it was in self-defense, I understand that. But if it was just you trying to cut off a loose end, we don't cut off loose ends of each other. Outside the family, sure, I get that. But, and then he kind of comes in the door, but inside the family, it's holy shit.
Yeah, I don't
And I-
think it's any of these guys.
And I just looked back and I said, sorry for doubting you, men. It just seems that fucking supernatural shit is going on here. So you'll have to forgive me.
Trent is going to come in and check the I'm horrible at perception. I'm horrible at looking at this shit. So Trent
Let
is
me
going
to do it.
Yeah,
character.
basically Trent is going to be like, can you see if any of the scientists that were in here might have done this to him?
So basically, just try to look around the room for any tiny details.
Yeah, we had them over in this corner, but I don't think we ever specifically stated they were tied
Yep.
up.
We did.
Oh, you
And
did.
as I
Yeah,
ki-
all right.
As I kind of say this, I just say, the kelp on the council, the console.
Yeah, no shit.
and I just start sprinting down, and I said, "Does anybody have anything incendiary?" Incendiary. As I start running down the hallway.
Molotov cocktails, flamethrowers.
They have the welding unit.
And I just say, "Welder, over here. I need your help. Things just got dire."
All right, he comes over with the unit.
I go and we go into the room to see if the kelp is if the kelp is in the same state that I put on the console.
It's bigger.
And I just say, "Fucking torch it."
All right, so he gets ready and he torches it, and it begins shriveling up.
And I just kind of supervise and I say, "Keep going until it's all the way shriveled up."
All right, he does that for a couple minutes. You kind of go back, and then one of the guys is the guy that had accused the other guy of cheating earlier,
or that had been accused.
That had been accused. He was kind of talking to the other guy. He's like, "I told you guys, I didn't do anything." And if you really, and he kind of trails out. He's like, "If you want to know really what happened, go look at the cameras."
And I said, "Do I hear this?"
Yeah.
And I said, "That's a good idea. And I don't distrust you. I don't. I just can't deny that something happened here. I'm sorry that you were the first one in line because of what happened today. It won't happen again."
Should I check the cameras for you?
Yeah.
And
so you go back like an hour or two. And as you go back, you see on the cameras, your guys are kind of patrolling the area, Trent and Antonio. And then we kind of flick on the camera to this room, and Mr.
Accuser.
No. Mr. Trent, you see your guy kind of go over to the organisms on the table. It kind of sticks his hand next to it, kind of trying to feel it, look at what exactly it is. And he kind of nothing happens. He kind of pokes it again, nothing happens. And he begins to walk away. And he looks at the other table. And he this one he turns the Bunsen burner off. And he kind of waits for a little bit and just fiddles around with it some more. And he kind of pokes it again. And this time, this one latches to his hand. And you see him all of a sudden try to pull his hand away. And he can't do it on the video. And he's pulling as best as he can. You see a little tendril go up his hand. And the guy begins to freak out. And this tendril goes over his mouth and covers it up. And eventually it enters his head through his ear. And you see that he all of a sudden pulls his own knife out and stabs himself. And he lands on the ground.
Can I kind of pull that guy over who was saying, "It's not me, I swear"? And I kind of I say, "Don't tell anyone about this, but look, this is why I was so suspicious."
Okay.
And I kind of show him it. And I after the video's over, I kind of pat him on the shoulder. "I'm sorry that I accused you, but I think you can see now why I was so suspicious."
Okay.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Is there any way I can save this on my phone or something?
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
I'm doing that.
We'll end it with one final thing. The guy kind of looks over at you, Antonio, and he says, "Yeah, I appreciate that, but that begs the question: what are the why is this here?" And we'll cut to black.
Fuck's sake! This was an intense fucking session.
This was supposed to be a crime thing. Now we're getting into some fucking science fiction shit.
You're
Holy
right.
shit!
This is basically becoming Payday 2, but the ridiculousness. But science fiction shit is way more open because there's a lot of.
I don't know. I'm enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it.
Oh, I'm fine with it. I'm just observing that's what it's becoming.
I fucking love it as becoming this. It's way more fun this way, if you ask me.
I'll tell you one thing. General Ford, they did not include this in the job description.
No.
Also, we have to vote best player.
Yeah.
That's a difficult one.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Darius
Everyone-
did the most this time that he's done in quite a while with all the computer shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Darius.
Yeah.
He
why not?
definitely did get us back up.
Before anyone vote, I'd say Trisky because he got to protect himself from 4 AKs.
I mean, you're also not wrong. But
You already voted
ultimately,
for
it
me, fuck.
was Darius who saved our lives.
You already voted for me, yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That was my vote.
Darius wins.
Darius
Yay.
wins.
Awesome.
All right.
Darius to get 15 XP. Everybody else gets 10.
All right. A little bit more this session, huh?
It was a
This
quick
is
one.
the usual, you forgot. I'm pretty sure that we just kinda have it.
All right. Lordy. All right.
This session was fun.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tursky, you gotta sign off.
Yeah, I gotta do my
I'm going to
sign-off.
make
Alright.
something for the YouTube good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm deafened now in the voice call. They still chatting up, but thank you everyone for dropping by. Hope you've had a lovely time. And we're gonna call it here. This has been Treading Among Snakes, session 6. Have a good one.
Are they tied up or what?
Yes!
Yes.
What are they tied up with?
Yes.
Wires,
They're
cords.
tied up with yes. Fuck you.
Yes.